the Almighty Pokémon Master. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126, the current situation of people with special abilities in China. This is considered a loss due to lack of culture. That's why I suggest you communicate more with people with special abilities. Because you have to understand them in order to know yourself and the enemy. That makes sense. Zhang Xingyun sat down and took a break. Hey, what kind of ability do you have? Nangang Yeo also sat down and asked curiously. Well, I'm not very clear about this. Anyway, I can amplify elves, telepathically, levitate for a while, and teleport. These are the things I can do now. What do you mean you can teleport? Nangang Yeo said in surprise. Yes, you can't. Zhang Xingyun asked back. It seems that Nangang Yeo can't teleport. Teleportation is very difficult. I can only feel the space in the dark now, but I can't teleport yet. Zhang Xingyun took out some snacks from his backpack and handed them to Nangang Yeo. Nangang Yeo was not polite and took a bag of snacks and started eating. Is it really difficult to teleport? It's really difficult. Many people with special abilities like you and me can't do it. Oh, then it seems that I'm a person with special abilities. Zhang Xingyun smiled and tore open a bag of snacks and started eating. Your snacks are not delicious. Eat these snacks of mine. Nangang Yeo put down the snacks that Zhang Xingyun had just handed over and took out a bunch of snacks from her storage space. Pile them in front of Zhang Xingyun. Eat. This is delicious. Your snacks are just so-so. They are not very delicious. After taking out the things, Nangang Yeo picked up the snacks on the ground and ate them. It was not wasted. What about you? Why did you transfer to Changning No. 9 Middle School? Zhang Xingyun asked curiously. I had a conflict with my elders at home. They wanted to arrange for me, but I was not willing. So I came to Changning, because my cousin is here. Then why didn't you choose No. 1 Middle School? Or Shizhan would be fine. How did you come to No. 9 Middle School? I'm very curious. I'm a little depressed about this. At first, I filled out an application for transferring to No. 1 Middle School online, but it didn't pass. I also applied to Shizhan, but there was no follow-up. Later, I just applied to No. 9 Middle School casually. Unexpectedly, the admissions teacher of No. 9 Middle School contacted me. I said I wanted to transfer, and then introduced myself, and then I was arranged to class 20. Zhang Xingyun looked a little strange. Didn't you explain your situation when you applied, such as whether you are a person with special abilities? No need for this. I don't need to do it in Jingling. Just fill in some basic information. Zhang Xingyun didn't know what to say. If the admissions teacher of No. 1 Middle School knew about it, then the teacher might be angry. When I first arrived at class 20, I saw you and was quite happy. I thought that, since we were both superpowered, you would agree, so I walked over and asked if I could sit next to you. You actually said no. You were so mean at that time. That's not important. Zhang Xingyun replied somewhat awkwardly. Hey, how did you become a superpowered person? Is it convenient to tell me? If not, forget it. Nangang Yeo asked curiously. That's not inconvenient. I awakened this ability by chance, but at first, I didn't know what it was and had no idea. Later, when I was hunting in the wild, I picked up a space backpack. After opening it, I happened to find a book that could cultivate superpowers, so I started to cultivate. Zhang Xingyun would not tell the system, so he found a similar reason to answer. This is still possible. Superpowered people have strong ability to survive in the wild, but they are not immortal. Then you are really lucky. You can actually cultivate to this level and you are fine. It seems that this cultivation method is suitable for you. Well, I also think I'm lucky. After listening to Zhang Xingyun's explanation, Nangang Yeo didn't say anything, just said that he was lucky. Then how did you learn teleportation so quickly? Well, after the elves advanced to the ordinary level, I also benefited. I just got inspiration and cultivated it. Maybe I'm really talented. Zhang Xingyun replied and praised himself. Yeah, according to what you said, your supernatural talent is really strong. Nangang Yeo also praised. By the way, let me ask, are there really few people with abilities like us? Why do I only see you, and no other supernatural users? Zhang Xingyun asked Nangang Yeo. It's really rare. People like you and me are considered supernatural. It's really rare. A while ago, when I went to the Changning Supernatural Association to visit seniors AO, I learned that there are only about 20 registered supernatural users in Changning. That's really rare. Zhang Xingyun said. Changning is so big, but there are only about 20 people. There must be a lot of people with special abilities in Jingling. Compared with Changning, there are more people with special abilities. Of course, there are more than 70 people with special abilities registered in Jinling, which is definitely a lot compared to Changning. There are more than 1000 superpowered apprentices, and there may be more than 10 people in the future. Awesome, it's worthy of being a big place. The two chatted like this. They usually don't talk about these people with special abilities in their studies. After chatting for a day, Zhang Xingyun roughly understood the current situation of people with special abilities in China. China has a population of more than 1 billion, but there are only about 600 people with special abilities registered, and some are old, some are young, some are strong, some are weak, and their abilities are of different types. After chatting for a day, the two became more familiar with each other. You said you ran here because you encountered a group of phalluses. It's in that forest. Do you want to cooperate and destroy that group? There should be a lot of good things. Okay, let's go. Let's see your ability. Nangang Yeo did not refuse and readily agreed. Okay, I've had a good rest anyway. Zhang Xingyun stood up and patted the dirt on his body. Let's go. Just take my Zhaoqi. Nangang Yeo called Kixie Bluebird and said to Zhang Xingyun. Will your spirit not mind? No, you think so, Zhaoqi. TSK Kixie Bluebird called to Zhang Xingyun in a friendly way. That's troublesome. Zhang Xingyun did not refuse and grabbed the claws of the Pidgeot, which was really a bit indecent. The two sat on the back of Kixie Bluebird and rushed to the group of phalluses. Chapter 127 Cooperation. In addition to the Pokémon you know, I can also send an ordinary early stage Caterpie. By the way, do you know how large the range of activity of the Venus flycatcher is? Nangang Yeo asked Zhang Xingyun on the back of the Tanabata Bluebird. It's not clear yet. I'll go down and confirm it first. Zhang Xingyun disappeared from the spot after he finished speaking and then explored it carefully. With the breath suppressing item on him, Zhang Xingyun was also very careful and he was not discovered this time. There were no elites among the group of Venus flycatchers, so Zhang Xingyun, who was wearing the breath suppressing item and could teleport, completed the exploration smoothly. Of course, he did not go deep into their tribe, but ran around their border to roughly determine how big the area was. The exploration is done. How is it? There are more than 10 ordinary combat forces. I sense them at the border. Zhang Xingyun told what he had just discovered. Hey, why didn't you get discovered just now? This is because I wore a breath suppressing item, plus teleportation to quickly move the position, so I was not discovered. Oh, I'm envious. Then how to fight? Nangang Yeo asked. This kind of elves, and they are in the forest, are very difficult to deal with. I do have an idea, but I have to ask. Who to ask? Zhang Xingyun did not answer and said to a corner, I found you. Come out. I have something to report to the teacher. Click. As soon as the voice fell, a blue Pokémon came out from the corner. It was Golduck. Golduck was wearing some small equipment, and at this time, Wang Yu's voice came from the equipment. Xingyun, what do you want to report? It's like this. Nangang and I are going to attack this group of Venus flying flower. There may be a fire later. Let me report it to you first. Okay, I got it. Golduck retreated and hid in a corner. On the other side, Wang Yu told several teachers about the situation and sent several water elves to where Zhang Xingyun was to prepare to put out the fire. You are quite thoughtful. This is the place of trial. You have to report it. I don't know if you will be in prison for setting fire to the mountain. Zhang Xingyun replied. In a forest with forest rangers, you can't set fires at will. It's illegal. But it's different in the wild. There are no laws to restrict it. Anything goes. Moreover, the damage of the fire system has a restraining effect on most grass-type elves living in the forest. Therefore, many unattended forests often have fires. After the two discussed it, they waited for a while and started. Pidgeot took Growlithe and flew up again, dropping flames in the sky. Soon, various sounds appeared in the group of Venus Flickerts. But the sparks dropped by Growlithe fell on the trees, some of which were extinguished by the Venus Flickerts, and some were still burning. The Venus Flickerts also discovered Pidgeot and Growlithe in the sky and shouted. A large number of flying leaf knives and energy balls swept over. Unfortunately, Pidgeot flew into the air and couldn't hit it. Growlithe's flames were still falling, making the Venus Flickerts below a little flustered. It's a bit miserable. Nangang Yeo said to Zhang Xingyun. Nangang, this is how it is in the wild. You see how pitiful they are, but you haven't seen how they eat people. This is how it is in the wild, and it's even more cruel. I think the school is also training us to see this kind of wildness. Nangang, if you can't bear it, you can also withdraw. I'll do it myself. Zhang Xingyun didn't expect Nangang Yeo to say that. Now the fire has started, and there are a few screams coming from inside, which is indeed a bit miserable. But the secret realm has descended into the city and the screams are human. No, I just said it casually. Yeah. Pidgeot and Growlithe came back, and Zhang Xingyun said thank you for your hard work. Then Nangang Yeo released Dratini and Cherulia. Zhang Xingyun attached the spirit to Dratini, and the amplified Dratini's energy fluctuations reached the normal level. Then the two elves used the rain begging, and the dripping rain fell. Soon, the rain begging ended, and the fire on the ground of the Venus Flycatcher's tribe was much smaller. Zhang Xingyun observed the situation again, and then asked Pidgeot and Growlithe to take off again, and continue to set fire. Then repeat it several times. Zhang Xingyun handed a hood to Nangang Yeo. It's almost done, we can start. Okay. After the fire was extinguished, the area was filled with smoke. Many trees were burnt black, and some collapsed to the ground. Nidorino, earthquake. Pidgeot airblade. Zhang Xingyun issued instructions to the two Pokémon. Nidorino be the double blow from the air and the ground made the Venus Flitraps even more uncomfortable. Tanabe Bluebird, Dragon Wave. Growlithe, Jet Flame. Curlia, Shadow Ball Continuous. Nangang Yeo also commanded the Pokémon to attack, but she was not soft-hearted. The Pokémon continued to bombard, and when it was almost done, they would take the next step. Boom boom, throwing skills at the group of Venus Flitraps. Pokémon like Venus Flitraps move relatively slowly, and they like to gather together, so it's right to bombard them first. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. While bombing, the Venus Flies also fought back. After bombing for a while, there were still 3 ordinary late-stage Venus Flies, 5 middle-stage Venus Flies, and 2 early-stage Venus Flies, which were still slightly injured. There should be about 10 ordinary combat forces. The vine whips on the ground should be cleaned up. It's time to start. Okay. Nidorino, you guys come back first. Now it's time to fight hard. Zhang Xingyun teleported and appeared in the Venus Flies tribe 20 meters away. Other Venus Flies were furious when they saw Zhang Xingyun appear. They knew that everything that happened in the tribe must have been caused by the human in front of them. For a while, they all threw their skills at him. Leaf Storm, Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam, Energy Ball, Leaf Blade, a lot of skills were thrown at him. Zhang Xingyun teleported again and appeared 20 meters away, throwing out Nidorino and other Pokémon. Boom boom, the battle started again. Kixie Bluebird, Divine Bird Pipperbird, Brave Bird TSK Nidorino, Electabuzz, Mini Dragon, Gryphon. Nangang Yeo also rushed over. Bang, bang, bang. There were several explosions. After this wave of skills, many Pokémon will definitely fall. Heibu Electabuzz uses the power of electricity to quickly enter the smoke. He used the Flame Fist and blew it directly. The fighting style is still very fierce. After Pipperbird and Brave Bird attacked fiercely, they returned with a swallow and rushed into the smoke again, accurately hitting an ordinary late-stage Venus Fly. Pipperbird, a flying type, is twice as strong as Venus Fly. Chapter 128 A Rich Harvest. A beam of destruction and death came. Nidorino jumped to Zhang Xingyun, used guard to block it. After blocking this beam of destruction and death, Several skills came. Nidorino stepped on the ground with his 2 forelimbs, and a ground type energy surged from the front, forming a wall of earth to block these scattered attacks. When Pidgeot and Electabuzz saw Zhang Xingyun being attacked, they attacked faster. Flower the flower petal on the shoulder rushed up and joined the battle. Zhang Xingyun did not let the 2 little ones, young Gillis and Squirtle, go up. TSK another divine bird, Kixie Bluebird, rushed up. Bang bang bang. After a while, all the Venus Flitraps present lost their ability to fight. Finally won. Well done. Zhang Xingyun gave Nangan a thumbs up. Let's see what good stuff there is. Okay. Zhang Xingyun put all the Venus Flitraps that lost their ability to fight into the Pokeball one by one, locked and put them away. So many fruit, but unfortunately many of them are destroyed. Wow, so many leaf stones, and 3 intermediate leaf stones. There are also poisonous mud blocks, grass energy crystals, and poisonous scorpion grass. Zhang Xingyun put on gloves and sorted them out one by one. Nangan stood by and watched Zhang Xingyun picking up things, but did not help. Okay, stop digging the soil. I sense that there are still some in the soil. You just stand by. Nidorino, come and help. There should be a lot of good things. Nangan directed the elves and was on guard everywhere. After a long time, Zhang Xingyun stood up and patted the dirt on his body. Haha, it's done. I finally sorted out the things. Leave them here first. I'll sell them when I go out and then split them 50-50. Nangan nodded and said nothing. Let's go. Find a place to rest and eat something. Okay. The 2 left here, leaving behind a messy site. This scene was also seen by teachers such as Wang Yu. Awesome. These 2 are really strong together. They can actually wipe out a group of elves with 15 ordinary combat power. Zhao Mingshang said with some admiration. Zhao Mingshang assumed that he was just ordinary strength and he would never dare to fight this group. Xingyun also knew that this was the trial place and he informed us. While setting the fire, he also put out the fire so that the forest would not be burned too much. He learned to teleport. I really didn't expect it. This is a magical skill and it can have a very good effect in survival raids. Several teachers commented on Zhang Xingyun and Nangan and also felt that people with special abilities are really good. They are in dangerous areas and they are guarded by elite level elves. What Zhang Xingyun dropped was one of them, and it was one of the more dangerous ones. As for Zhang Xingyun's harvest, it was naturally Zhang Xingyun's, and he also shot it down himself. Zhang Xingyun and the other person came to a river. For the time being, no elves attacked them, and 1 or 2 elves swam over in the river. They did not attack Zhang Xingyun, and Zhang Xingyun did not want to pay attention to them. After washing up by the river, they found a suitable place, spread out the picnic blanket, took out the food and started eating. Why don't you buy something delicious? Nangan said, looking at the food in Zhang Xingyun's hand. This is in the wild. Just eat something casually, like this compressed biscuit is very good. Here, this is for you. Nangan took out a blue box from her backpack and handed it to Zhang Xingyun. Zhang Xingyun reached out to take it. Golden steak? It tastes so good, I'm envious. Don't make such a fuss, isn't it just a piece of golden steak? What's the big deal? You came to the wild. Are you here for a vacation? Zhang Xingyun was not polite, forked the steak and started eating. This golden steak, he can afford it, but it's just unnecessary. Zhang Xingyun didn't say anything and ate quietly. It can only be said that everyone has a way of living. You are also a capable person. Why don't you buy a set of advanced combat uniforms, which are more comfortable to wear and safer in the wild? Nangan looked at the clothes on Zhang Xingyun and said, battle uniforms, that's enough. Zhang Xingyun finished eating and called Nidorino and the others over. Do you want energy cubes? I have some here. Zhang Xingyun asked Nangan after giving the energy cubes to Nidorino and other elves. Okay. Nangan replied. Zhang Xingyun took out a few Yuanling intermediate energy cubes and handed them to Nangan. Thank you. Nangan took them and fed them to the elves. Can you tell me how to teleport? Nangan asked. Can you sense space? Space, I can vaguely feel it. Zhang Xingyun took out a piece of fruit and ate it together, and also handed one to Nangang Yeo. Nangang Yeo took it and started eating it. What's wrong? Why are you eating it? Zhang Xingyun joked. I'm picky about snacks, but not about fruits. Nangang Yeo replied. In fact, you should buy materials to help you comprehend space, such as the void stone. I felt the points, lines, and surfaces of space at the beginning, and then Zhang Xingyun expressed his feelings at the beginning. By the way, can I ask how you operated the light blue shield in front of your body just now? Can you tell me? No problem. This shield compresses the energy in your body, and then the two exchange their experiences of using superpowers on the picnic blanket. Usually Zhang Xingyun practiced alone, and there was no other superpower user to communicate with. There is movement over there. Zhang Xingyun stood up and said, looking at a hill. Then let's go over and take a look. Maybe it's our classmates. Nangang Yeo said. Come up quickly, let Xiaoqi take us over. Zhang Xingyun collected all the elves in, packed up his things, and teleported to the back of the Kixie Bluebird. Teleportation is really convenient. Xiaoqi, let's go over there. TSK the Kixie Bluebird flapped its wings and flew up. On the ground, Song Weizhou and Liu Xiaoxu were running. Behind them, several Rhodonites were chasing. What bad luck. We are just passing through their territory. Why are they chasing us so closely? Xiaoxu, run faster. Song Weizhou shouted as he ran. I can't run anymore. Liu Xiaoxu, who was beside Song Weizhou, looked a little pale, and she looked like she was about to run anymore. If you can't run anymore, call out the Pokémon and give it a try. Okay. Come out, Onyx, Tyrannosaurus. Come out, Bayleaf. The two stopped, threw out Pokeballs, and summoned Pokémon. Onyx Irontail, Tyrannosaurus Rock Blockade. Bayleaf, Leaf Blade. Bang, several Rhydons knocked off the rocks that appeared out of thin air and continued to roll over. Bang, after Leaf Blade, Onyx's Irontail also repelled Rhydon. But the two were not in a good situation. They were surrounded by more than a dozen Pokémon. Nidorino, Water Wave. When the two were surrounded, a voice came from the sky. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129 Temporary Residence. Nidorino threw the water wave directly at a Rhydon. Bang, it shattered the sharp stone attack from Rhydon and hit a Rhydon. The Rhydon that was hit half crouched on the ground, in great pain. Water skills are extremely harmful to Rhydon. Xingyun, why are you here? Song Weizhou said. I saw the movement here from a distance and rushed over. I didn't expect it to be you. Hahaha, thank you very much this time, otherwise it would be difficult to end. Okay, no more nonsense, just repel these Rhydons first. Okay. TSK Nangang Yeo also arrived. Curlia, Magic Leaf. Curlu Electabuzz, Pidgeot, both of you come out. Pidgeot, follow the wind. Electabuzz, follow up, use Brick Break. Nidorino, rush up and use Chain Kick. Song Weizhou and the other elves both let the elves go on the field, and in a moment, they fought back. Stone Nidorino kicked Rhydon at the rolling Rhydon, stopping it from rolling. Nidorino also stepped back a few steps, and then rushed forward. This Rhydon was an ordinary mid-stage Rhydon, so as long as you pay attention to its self-explosion, it won't be a big problem. Stone a large rock fell down. Bang, it was smashed by Nidorino, but Nidorino continued to rush towards Rhydon. When Rhydon wanted to attack, Nidorino arrived, jumped, and kicked it up again. Nidorino landed, condensed a water wave, and threw it over. Stone Rhydon screamed after being hit, and lost its ability to fight after Nidorino threw another water wave. Whoosh, 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 sharp stones attacked, and there were many rocks. Nidorino blocked all the attacks with one defense. After using the defense, a cold freezing light blew over. He was stopped by a common late stage Rhydon. The other Rhydons were also beaten badly, so they retreated after a loud cry. When several people wanted to chase To common late stage Raidens had some glimmering on their bodies, so Zhang Xingyun asked Nidorino to stop chasing. Song Weishao and the others did the same and stopped chasing. Seeing the fleeing Raidens, Zhang Xingyun collected the Raidens lying on the ground. Harvest +1. Nangang Yao also knocked down a Raiden during this period, and also harvested +1. But Song Weishao and the others did not defeat them. Thank you so much, Nangang and Xingyun. Song Weishao said. It's okay, I even made a small profit. Zhang Xingyun smiled and said while holding Raiden's Pokeball. Nangang Yao smiled and nodded and said softly, you're welcome. Then he walked to Liu Xiaoxu. Liu Xiaoxu was probably chased by a Pokemon for the first time. After seeing Nangang Yao, her eyes were red and she cried. Nangang Yao comforted her. Weishao, why are you with her and being chased? Zhang Xingyun walked over and asked Song Weishao. Don't mention it. After I came here, I just walked a few steps and met her. When I passed Lang Guyan chased me. Then it was like this. Song Weishao explained. The two of them were unlucky. When they passed Lang Guyan's territory, they were chased by Lang Guyan and were chased all the way here. Luckily you came, otherwise we would have been dead. This trial is too dangerous. Song Weishao said with some fear. Not necessarily. Zhang Xingyun looked at a corner where there was an elf. If Zhang Xingyun didn't appear, the elf would appear. Liu Xiaoxu over there also stabilized her mood after being comforted by Nangang Yao. With red eyes, she thanked Zhang Xingyun. It's okay, we are all classmates. Xingyun classmate, why don't the four of us go together? It's a bit dangerous in the wild. Liu Xiaoxu said. She was still a little scared. She comes from a wealthy family and her family dotes on her. She simply likes elves, but is not very keen on fighting. Okay, it's better for everyone to be together, so that we can take care of each other. Zhang Xingyun also replied. Let's go, let's leave here first and find a place to rest. Okay. The four of them walked together and looked for a suitable place. This place is nice, let's do it here. Zhang Xingyun said when the four of them came to a place. There are two big trees here, which can be made into tree holes. In addition to these two big trees, there are small trees nearby, and the view is better. Okay, that's it. Song Weishao took out a picnic blanket, spread it on the ground, sat down, took out some food, and started eating. You are tired and hungry, do you want to eat something? The three of them said no. Song Weishao started eating. Zhang Xingyun turned around and saw Nangang Yao and Liu Xiaoxu drinking milk tea, talking and laughing. Now that they were safe, they relaxed. Do you want it? Nangang Yao asked when she saw Zhang Xingyun looking at her. Thank you, I don't need it. Nangang classmate, give me a cup. Okay. Nangang Yao handed a cup to Song Weishao, who immediately took a sip and burped. Comfortable. No, we are here. Are you so leisurely? Zhang Xingyun said. The four of us together are stronger than some tribes, so it's okay to be idle. Song Weishao replied. That being said, we still have to be prepared. Prepare for what? Just check the surrounding area to see if there are any powerful elves to prevent them from attacking. Zhang Xingyun said. I will do that. I'll finish eating first. Okay. After Song Weishao finished eating, he and Zhang Xingyun went to check the surrounding area. Nangang Yao and the others were responsible for dealing with the tree hole. Sprinkle some over there too. Zhang Xingyun and Song Weishao held white powder in their hands and sprinkled a little at intervals. After checking, they found that there were no other elves. They formed a circle with two large trees as the center point and sprinkled powder. This powder is more hated by wild elves. Such an area is sprinkled with this kind of powder, and wild Pokémon are generally unwilling to come in. I feel relieved to meet you, Boss Zhang. Oh, why do you say that? Your Nidorino, Electabuzz, and Pidgey all look very strong, and you are a power user. As long as I don't commit suicide, it will definitely be very comfortable. Song Weishao said with a smile. He and Zhang Xingyun have a good relationship on weekdays, and Zhang Xingyun should not leave him alone. What if you commit suicide? After hearing what Song Weishao said, Zhang Xingyun said. No way, let's not do it. Just think of it as camping here. You work so hard on weekdays, you can rest for a few days. That makes sense. Bullshit. Chapter 130 Barbecue and Travel. After Zhang Xingyun and his companions came back, they saw that the tree hole had been dug. How is it? Are there any powerful elves nearby? Nangang Yeo asked. We looked around and found nothing. There shouldn't be any. Zhang Xingyun looked at the time. It was already 5:30 in the afternoon, and he didn't want to continue to tossing. Weezhao, come out and pick up some firewood with me. We'll need it at night. Okay. Song Weezhao came out of the tree hole, responded, and set out with Zhang Xingyun to pick up firewood. If it were in Yangtze Forest or other places, Zhang Xingyun would not dare to burn a fire at night, unless he was very strong. Soon the two of them picked up a lot of firewood, and piled it aside. Zhang Xingyun walked into the tree hole alone, released the young Kirus, fed it a few energy cubes, and star steel stones, and then put it back in. Zhang Xingyun didn't want to reveal that he had a young Kirus, so he had to do this, and the young Kirus also understood Zhang Xingyun's approach, and didn't blame him. After leaving the tree hole, Zhang Xingyun found that the three of them had taken out the ingredients, and placed them on a table. Hey, what are you doing? Zhang Xingyun walked over and asked. Eating barbecue, making meat skewers. We'll have barbecue tonight. Nangang Yeo said, holding a skewer and skewering the meat. Zhang Xingyun didn't say anything and went forward to help. With the strength of the four of them, ordinary scattered elves can't beat them. They are from a tribe, and it's impossible for the entire tribe to come. It's in the trial area, so there should be no danger. Zhang Xingyun stopped for a while, walked a few steps, made a few gestures in one direction, and went back to help. My goodness, they are actually eating barbecue. They have to light a fire at night. On the screen, a teacher on duty said unhappily, "Hey, Teacher Wang, come and see your students, and see what they are doing." Wang Yu also came up, and took a look. "Do you want to stop it?" the teacher on duty said. In the real wild, unless you are strong enough, lighting a fire or barbecue at night will attract some hunters. Forget it. Just now, classmate Xingyun also made a few gestures in front of the camera to explain. Besides, this trial place really can't threaten these four people. Wang Yu replied. This is not good. It goes against the purpose of our training. The teacher on duty said again. Teacher Lin, they are actually okay. Look at the two people with special abilities, plus those two people, in this trial place. It can be said that there is no danger. This makes sense. What do you think, other teachers? I have no objection. It can be done this way, but we have to talk about it afterwards. Okay, those teachers said it's okay, then we won't stop it, but they are actually powerful. We have to arrange some surprises, and can't let them get too comfortable. Yes, this is okay. On the other side, Zhang Xingyun was grilling. At the beginning, Nangang Yeo was still very excited and grilled barbecue, but the barbecue was hard to describe. And Song Weezhao and Liu Xiaoxu's barbecue was not very good. There was no way Zhang Xingyun could only go on stage himself. Yeah, it's delicious. Xingyun, hurry up. My deskmate, I didn't expect you to grill so well. Not bad. Zhang Xingyun passed a large plate of barbecue and put it on the table. The elves must have a share, just to satisfy their cravings. Otherwise, with their appetite, Zhang Xingyun would have been grilling all the time. Xingyun, I didn't expect you to grill and do it so well. Liu Xiaoxu said. Usually, the elves and I also like to eat, so I tried to grill some myself. Big brother is worthy of being a big brother. Not only is he good at studying, but he is also good at training elves, and his cooking skills are also great. I don't know how to say you. Song Weezhao ate a grilled chicken wing and praised. Hey boo here, Electaboo, share it with them. Hey boo Electaboo took the barbecue from Zhang Xingyun and moved it to the elves. Several elves also ate happily. Classmate, how about we team up and travel together from that day on? Nangang Yeo took a sip of the drink and said to Zhang Xingyun. You think I'm a chef, right? Let's talk about this later. No, there are so many people who want to travel with me, and I didn't agree, but you rejected me. Please, Nangang classmate, I said I would get tired of it. You appear in front of me all day. I'm immune to it, okay. Zhang Xingyun continued to eat barbecue. We can indeed travel after the college entrance examination, and the government also encourages this. Song Weishao said at this time. After hearing what Song Weishao said, Zhang Xingyun remembered the anime in his previous life. There was indeed a trip in it, like Xiaozi, who took Pikachu out at the age of 10. Along the way, he challenged gyms everywhere, and participated in the league competition. In reality, there is no one like Xiaozi who can travel at the age of 10. There is no league competition, and there is no gym. I also like traveling. I can appreciate different scenery, and meet different Pokémon. Nangang Yeo said excitedly. Unfortunately, I don't dare to do it, even if I have a partner with me. I just like to interact with the elves. Liu Xiaoxu said on the side. She was reluctant to go to the regular class. She didn't have the talent for the training class. Fortunately, she had some talent for trainers, and was in class 20, but she liked to interact with the elves, and put on nice clothes for the elves. She didn't like fighting or passionate battles. Compared with Zhang Xingyun and the others, she was a little different. Zhang Xingyun and the other two also nodded to show their understanding. No one is wrong in this, just live the life you want. Then do you want to participate in the next Rookie Cup? Song Weishao mentioned the Rookie Cup. Zhang Xingyun also remembered that the Rookie Cup was held in November, and it seemed that it was October, so it was almost time. Yes, Zhang Xingyun replied. The rewards of the Rookie Cup should be very good, and there was no reason for Zhang Xingyun to let it go. I have heard about this too, and it seems that the policy has been changed this year. Nangang Yeo also said. Yes, you can participate if you have been a registered trainer for no more than 1 year and you need to be a novice Pokémon. Zhang Xingyun explained. Well, if my Dratini hasn't advanced by then, I will go and participate. It should be very interesting. I want to participate too, Xingyun. Song Weishao asked. Me, I want to participate too. Zhang Xingyun replied. Liu Xiaojing, who was present, said she would not participate. The four of them ate barbecue and chatted. Some Pokémons around were on guard, and they were not afraid of Pokémons coming to attack. It's too much for us to eat barbecue at night. Remember not to sleep too deeply at night. This is a trial. Zhang Xingyun reminded the three of them. Well, I'm practicing anyway. It doesn't matter whether I sleep or not. Song Weishao and the others also said they knew. Chapter 131 Night Attack. It was late at night and quiet. In the two tree holes, Zhang Xingyun and Song Weishao lived together, while Nangang Yeo and Liu Xiaoxu lived together. In the tree hole, Song Weishao had already fallen asleep, wearing combat uniform, with a coyote lying beside him. Zhang Xingyun sat cross-legged on the spot, practicing. Neither of them was fully engaged, always paying attention to the outside. Be the alert Pidgeot outside called out, and Zhang Xingyun opened his eyes, and called Song Weishao to get up. Then he moved in an instant, and appeared next to the Pidgeot. Pidgeot said that after noticing the movement, it took off to check, and found a group of big-mouthed bats rushing over here. What's wrong? What's the situation? Nangang Yeo and Liu Xiaoxu also rushed out. Pidgeot said that there are elves flying towards us from the east, elves like big-mouthed bats. Zhang Xingyun replied. Pidgeot, brave bird fierce attack. Pidgeot went up to greet the guests, and collided with the fast approaching cross-shaped bats. Squeak after the crossbit was knocked back by the Pidgeot, two more crossbits rushed over. Pidgeot did not retreat, and several air blades whizzed over, and then another Bravabit rushed over. Bang, one of the crossbits was knocked to the ground, and it looked seriously injured, while the two that rushed over were slightly injured. Zhang Xingyun scanned the three crossbits with the system, and found that two were in the ordinary late stage and one was in the ordinary middle stage. After encountering the Pidgeot was still able to suppress the three of them. Hey boo. When the Pidgeot was fighting the three crossbits, the electric beast also arrived. It swung a lightning fist, but was dodged. Hey boo, the electric beast attracted the electric ability, and the crossbit did not expect that there was electricity on the ground, and was hit by the lightning when it dodged. The electric beast lingered the lightning that it attracted, and attacked with a divergent electric shock. Electivus, down there on the left. Hey, bud. Electivus gathered another electric ball, and threw it down to the left. As expected, the electric shock was dodged by the crossbit, and it also came to the down here, but was also hit by the electric ball. Hey, bud. Electivus took the opportunity to move over and killed the crossbit with a 100,000 volts. On the other side, the crossbit that was fighting with Pidgeot was also taken down by Pidgeot. The whole process took less than a minute. Awesome, awesome. Song Weezhao said 2 vs 3, and they were able to take down the crossbit in such a short time. Although Zhang Xingyun had his help, the dark environment had no effect on Zhang Xingyun. Well, those Zubats should be here soon. Get ready. Okay. Zhang Xingyun took down the 3 ordinary crossbits at a very fast speed to prevent the elves from coming from behind. Squeak. The group of Zubats arrived, and looking over in the darkness, there were many bat shadows, but no elite level combat power. Curlia, flash. Curlia's flash suddenly appeared, catching them off guard, and screaming. Zhang Xingyun and others asked the elves to attack. Lightning, falling rocks, flying leaves and quick knives and other skills were all called up. Squeak. For a moment, the bats were in chaos, and there were many screaming sounds. They also fought back, but they were all stopped. Squeak. The Zubats all spit out black mist. After spitting, those who could still fly withdrew, and they could not take care of their companions who fell to the ground. Did they leave? They should have left. Zhang Xingyun replied. Zhang Xingyun was about to step forward, but stopped. Wait, don't go. Squeak. A Zubat that fell to the ground screamed, and there were some chewing sounds. It was a rice spoon snake that took the opportunity to bite a big mouth bat, chewed it a few times and swallowed it, and was about to eat another one. How brave. The rice spoon snake stopped moving forward, opened its mouth, and spit out black mist again, and then quickly left here. Zhang Xingyun also stopped the people who wanted to chase it. So scary. Liu Xiaoxu was scared when she saw the black area and the chewing sound. Nangang Yao and Song Weezhao's faces were not good either. Zhang Xingyun's face was normal. After a simple cleanup, the few people returned to the tree hole. Why do you look so bad? Zhang Xingyun looked at Song Weezhao and said, I'm not like you, who can sense the environment. I was also scared when I heard the chewing sound. The night plus the chewing sound is still a bit scary. No, you have been out in the wild several times. It's not that bad. It was bright in the daytime, so it wasn't that scary. The baby bird is giving an alarm again. Go and have a look. Zhang Xingyun went out again. Afterwards, they encountered several waves of late night predators, and they didn't stop until dawn. Song Weezhao next to him was snoring. All night, elves attacked from time to time, and it was only now that they could stop for a while. Zhang Xingyun also heard Nangang Yao's voice in his ear, saying that the vigilance was left to him, and she needed to catch up on some sleep. Zhang Xingyun estimated that the 3 of them had never survived in the wild at night. That's why they behaved like this. Zhang Xingyun had also stayed in the wild at night, but he could hide his breath, and would not be discovered by those elves. Therefore, he could get through it more easily. It was not possible last night. The life breath of several people was a bright food in the perception of elves such as Zubat. Who else could they find if not them? Later, several waves of elves also sensed the life breath of several people and rushed over. They were just repelled by the 4 of them, and they harvested several elves by the way. At 9 o'clock in the morning, after catching up on some sleep, the few people appeared in front of Zhang Xingyun. The 3 of them had light dark circles under their eyes, and were in a bad mental state. Let's go find some classmates around and squeeze together. It will be easier. Zhang Xingyun took out milk and bread and started eating. It's so annoying. There are so many elves coming in one night. I can't sleep. Song Weezhao complained. This is what the real wilderness is like. If you want to camp, then you have to improve your strength first. Zhang Xingyun said with a smile. I'm too young. Just experience it a few more times. After breakfast, several people set out to see if they can find classmates to form a team together. Xingyun, seeing you like this, have you ever been in the wilderness at night? Liu Xiaoxu asked. Well, I have been there for a few days, so I'm more used to it. You shouldn't have. The 3 of them said no. That's right. I think the school is not only because of the college entrance examination, but also considers the fact that you didn't come to the wilderness. Actually, you don't have to be afraid. Last night, I sensed an elite elf. It should be arranged by the school to protect us. Chapter 132, Attacking the Rumble Rock Tribe. You didn't sense it wrong? No, you will know, if you think about it. The purpose of the school is to let us experience the wild. This time it is more similar. I encountered it before, and because of the need for combat, I reported it to the teacher through it. You can also ask Nangan classmate. Yes, Xingyun is right. Nangan Yeo heard Zhang Xingyun talking about her and explained. Haha, then we don't have to be so vigilant at night. You wish. I think those waves last night might have been arranged by the school. Who told us to eat barbecue and roast fire? Zhang Xingyun said his guess. The eyes of the three people also looked over. I mean, there is this possibility. Zhang Xingyun added. Now that you say that, it is really possible. Nangan Yeo also said. I have been in the wild at night a few times. Although I have hidden my breath well, I really don't encounter attacking elves so often. Hey, someone is coming over. It seems to be the class monitor. Zhang Xingyun said. This way. With a rustling sound, three people walked out of the bushes on the side. It was Chen Yu, Yi Crossing, and Fang Hongjian. The three of them looked a little embarrassed. Haha, I was sensed by you. As soon as I approached, you are indeed a person with special abilities. Chen Yu praised. No, look at you. Where are you going? Zhang Xingyun asked. Don't mention it. After the three of us passed by the Langan tribe in the morning, we were chased all the way. In the end, we drove them away together, but we encountered more than a dozen gangster crocodiles, which we also repelled. Then we met you. Chen Yu told the three of them about their morning experience. Their luck was still a bit bad. Everyone greeted each other. Yi Crossing and the other two also knew that Song Weizhou and the other two had been chased by Langan. Then where are we going next? Class monitor Chen Yu said. Should we go and take down the Langan tribe? I found a lot of good things there, such as Wutuan. Yi Crossing suggested. After hearing about Wutuan, Zhang Xingyun also wanted to go. Nidorino is also about to evolve, and this Wuta rock can also be used by Nidorino. Song Weizhou and Liu Xiaoxu were also chased by Raiden and others, so they should be from the same tribe. Do you want to do it? Yi Crossing replied. Raiden's self-explosion is a bit troublesome, and our Pokémon will probably be hurt by then. Zhang Xingyun expressed his concerns. I have a Swamp King, whose characteristic is moisture, which can be manipulated. Yi Crossing said. After discussing for a while, several people decided to go to Raiden. Several people also told their combat power. Yi Crossing has a normal middle stage Haunter and a normal early stage Swamp King. Fang Hongjian has a normal late stage Fire Rock Rat, a middle stage Dungaree, and a normal middle stage Mook. Chen Yu has a normal middle stage Poison Rose and a normal early stage Parasaurolophus. In this way, plus Zhang Xingyun's 3, Nangan Yeo's 3, Song Weizhou's 2, and Liu Xiaoxu's 1. There are 16 normal combat forces. Several people soon came to the tribe of Langan. They used a telescope to observe from a distance. To deal with Langan, it is best to use water and grass elves, followed by fighting and ground elves. From the telescope, there are 13 elves, but there is a big pit there, and the telescope can't see it, so it's not clear. The site is flat, and they will be easily discovered after going down, and they can't achieve the purpose of sneak attack. Look, they are getting restless and chasing someone. It seems to be Zhao Xiaofeng. Everyone also picked up the telescope and looked. There are more than 10 elves chasing Zhao Xiaofeng. 3 of them are Langan. Maybe they are the recent dominant tribe, a little overbearing, and they will be chased by them when passing through their territory. And they also like to roll. Zhao Xiaofeng is probably passing by and was chased. Everyone rushed over and defeated the chasing Langan, and Zhao Xiaofeng also joined them, planning to go together to kill this Langan tribe. In this way, there is no need to plan anything, just push it directly. Their performance was also noticed by teachers such as Wang Yu. It seems that this group of Rodents is going to be unlucky. Zhao Mingshang said. I explored it at the beginning. The ordinary combat power of Rodents is only 21. After losing several of them, it is almost one-on-one. Our students can definitely beat wild Rodents. Wang Yu said on the side. He also explored this trial place at the beginning, and remembered this group of Rodents. Several teachers nodded. They all believed that their students would definitely defeat Rodents. After systematic learning, it is not a big problem for them to defeat wild Rodents. It's just a matter of how many Pokémon are injured. Zhang Xingyun is beating up 4 Rodents. There are potholes everywhere, and there is still some water in the potholes. On the ground, there are Pokémon such as Geodude and Rodden. Zhang Xingyun's Pokémon are also injured, and there are only 4 ordinary late-stage Roddens left. At this time, Rodden wanted to self-destruct, but was approached by Swamp King and was disturbed, so he couldn't self-destruct. The moisture property of the Swamp King worked. He was soon defeated by several people. Next, it was time to happily clean up the battlefield and sort out the harvest. They decided to take down this tribe. On the one hand, it was to prevent the students behind from being chased by Raiden. On the other hand, they could also get a harvest. On the other hand, they didn't know what to do for a while, so they asked Raiden to chase them. After sorting out the harvest, they roughly divided the harvest according to the combat power of the elves sent out. Several people had no objections and happily divided the harvest. After a few people rested for a while, they left the hill and rushed into the forest. Team up and push forward. They didn't find elite wild elves here, so if they united, the elves in this area would be uncomfortable. Stronger tribes like Raiden were all pushed forward, and when they encountered a few lone elves, they took care of them. Everyone walked all the way with a smile and pushed forward. They were able to experience the wild and gain something. The key is that there is not much danger, so they are naturally happy. But the ones who were unhappy were the elves here, and also the teachers who watched them plunder the elves. The elves in this area could be said to be the common property of several schools. Now that they were plundered by them, they had to find a suitable place to enclose it and use it as a trial site. It was time consuming, laborious, and costly. Chapter 133 Elite Parasaurolophus Attacks. In the evening, Zhang Xingyun and others found a suitable temporary residence and had a barbecue together. The 4 of them dared to do it yesterday, let alone now. In this trial place, there is indeed no threat. Yeah, Xingyun's barbecue is really good. It's delicious, better than some restaurants. After eating, several people praised Zhang Xingyun's cooking skills. By the way, we have to arrange the night watch at night, Zhang Xingyun said. They gathered together, and they were very strong, but they couldn't be too arrogant. Everyone also agreed. After discussing it, Zhang Xingyun, Fang Hongjian, Nangang Yao, and Chen Yu guarded the second half of the night, and the others guarded the first half of the night. After eating, everyone was also quite tired. Those who were on night watch kept watch, and those who didn't need to go into the tree hole to rest. Zhang Xingyun still sat cross-legged on the bed, practicing, and also sensing the outside. There were also several waves of elves attacking at night, all of which were upheld by Zhao Xiaofeng and others. They didn't shout for support, so Zhang Xingyun continued to practice. It was soon the second half of the night, and it was the turn of Zhang Xingyun and the other 4 to keep watch. Zhang Xingyun climbed up a tree and released the Pidgeot to be on guard. The other 3 also found a good position and were on guard. It was rare to be quiet tonight, and there were no groups of Pokémon to disturb. There were a few Pokémons that ran over, but they were all driven away by the Pidgeot. It's 3 o'clock. Zhang Xingyun looked at his phone and found that it was already 3 o'clock. Zhang Xingyun stretched and felt a little sleepy. He usually spent his time in training, but occasionally he would sleep. 3 o'clock is the time when people will feel sleepy. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. A powerful seed machine gun broke through the leaves and shot at Zhang Xingyun. Zhang Xingyun also sensed it when he was 20 meters away from Zhang Xingyun. He moved instantly and appeared on the ground, and the seed machine gun followed. Nidonidolino jumped out of the Pokeball, stood in front of Zhang Xingyun, and used guard. Bang! The defense lasted only 2 seconds before it was shattered by the attacking seed machine guns, and the last few seeds hit Nidorino. Nidorino cried out in pain, and the last few seed machine guns also caused considerable damage to Nidorino. Kixie Bluebird, Dragon Wave. Nangang Yao also reacted and hurried over to take a look. When he arrived, he saw Nidorino being hit, so he asked Kixie Bluebird to use Dragon Wave to test it. Be careful, it's an elite level Parasaurolophus. Zhang Xingyun reminded. What? Elite level? The three were a little surprised that an elite level Pokémon actually appeared. Squad leader, go and wake them up quickly. There are elite level Pokémon coming. Zhang Xingyun said in a deep voice. Okay. Chen Yu immediately ran back, shouting as he ran. Curlia, flash. Nangang Yeo asked Curlia to use flash so that he could see it. Nidorino, poison needle. Seeing that the Parasaurolophus wanted to attack Chen Yu, Zhang Xingyun asked Nidorino to intercept it. Kixie Bluebird, the divine bird. Pibibi, you come on too, the brave bird. BTSK the two Pokémons, wrapped in energy of different colors, rushed straight to the Parasaurolophus. Guka the Parasaurolophus flashed, and more than 20 Parasaurolophus figures appeared on the field. Puff, Kixie Bluebird and Pibibi both rushed into nothing. Kixie Bluebird, be careful to the left. Nangang Yeo shouted. TSK unfortunately, the Parasaurolophus was too fast, and was close to Kixie Bluebird at this moment. A true key punch hit Kixie Bluebird. TSK after Kixie Bluebird was hit, it was knocked up, and hit a big tree. Guka the Parasaurolophus succeeded in one attack and moved quickly, trying to get rid of Pibibi. But at this time, Pibibi had already taken off. When Parasaurolophus wanted to take the next step, he suddenly paused. A flame, illuminating the night, attacked Parasaurolophus. Guka with a slight struggle, he got rid of Curlia's telekinetic control. Facing the incoming flames, Parasaurolophus's fists glowed, and he chopped at the flames. The fire rock rat's flames were split in half, and scattered on the ground. Parasaurolophus used a vacuum wave, and the flames scattered on the ground were extinguished. Guka some powder sprayed out from Parasaurolophus's head, and blew towards Zhang Xingyun and others. Pipibird, violent storm. The powder was blown away by Pipibird's violent storm, but at this time, Parasaurolophus used the Ascension Fist, and used the tree trunk to jump in front of Pipibird. At this time, Zhang Xingyun's spirit also came to Pipibird, and Pipibird's momentum was strengthened. The speed of the Ascension Fist of Parasaurolophus was too fast, and Pidgeot could not dodge it for a while. After being amplified, it used steel wings to welcome the guests. Bang! Pidgeot was knocked back by the Ascension Fist of Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus also used this thrust to jump onto the tree trunk. Song Weezhou and others also rushed over at this time. After letting the elves stand in position, they attacked Parasaurolophus. Seeing so many people, Parasaurolophus sprayed a seed machine gun at everyone. With the combined efforts of several people, they managed to defend. Oh no, there is an ancient dragonfly on the other side. The ancient dragonfly also used air slash at this time. Song Weezhou's armored Tyrannosaurus stepped forward to block it, but was directly lying on the ground, and was seriously injured. Zhang Xingyun used the system to scan this ancient dragonfly, and it was the strength of the early elite. Parasaurolophus is also the strength of the early elite, with the characteristics of a technical master. I will deal with Parasaurolophus, and you can deal with this ancient dragonfly. Zhang Xingyun shouted. One of Pidgeot's brave birds dived down. Bang! Pidgeot crashed into the ground, and Parasaurolophus took advantage of this opportunity to use Sonic Fist, rushed to Pidgeot, and raised his fist to hit it. Pidgeot also used steel wings, with two sharp claws, and engaged in close combat with Parasaurolophus. Pidgeot seized the opportunity, jumped up, and left Parasaurolophus's close combat range. Parasaurolophus saw Pidgeot retreating, and was about to attack, but then Nidorino's attack arrived. After Parasaurolophus dodged Nidorino's poison mud bomb, Electabuzz also attacked. Electabuzz was now emitting lightning and flames from its fists, and rushed over. Guka seeing that an ordinary mid-stage Electabuzz dared to attack it, Parasaurolophus went to meet it. Bang bang bang. The collision of Flame Fist and Sonic Fist also destroyed the trees near both. Heibu Electabuzz only exchanged a few punches with it, before being knocked away by Parasaurolophus. Pidgeot and Nidorino's attacks also arrived. Electabuzz was not killed by Parasaurolophus, but the wound on its body was still quite serious. Fortunately, Zhang Xingyun had just switched the spirit to Electabuzz, so Electabuzz was able to exchange a few punches with Parasaurolophus. Chapter 134, Fierce Battle with Mushrooms. Guka Parasaurolophus didn't seem to be injured. After all, it would be a waste if he was seriously injured when fighting against Electabuzz in the early stage of the elite. Parasaurolophus rushed towards Zhang Xingyun quickly, but was stopped by Nidorino. Zhang Xingyun also quickly attached his spirit to Nidorino. They both used rock crushing, but Nidorino was not repelled by his size and the two sides held out. But Parasaurolophus was glowing green at this time. It's not good. It's absorb, Pidgeot, swallow return. Interrupted when Parasaurolophus and Nidorino were in a stalemate. They wanted to use super absorb, but Zhang Xingyun asked Pidgeot to come down. Zhang Xingyun seemed to see Parasaurolophus and chuckled. Parasaurolophus immediately retreated, and with the help of the big tree behind him, he jumped up and used Iron Tail on the swooping Pidgeot. Pidgeot was too fast and hit it directly. Pidgeot was hit by Parasaurolophus's Iron Tail and flew out backwards. It lay on the ground and couldn't fly for a while. Just now, the Iron Tail of the Parasaurolophus attacked the wings of Pidgeot. Now, Pidgeot can't fly. After killing Pidgeot, which is the biggest threat to it, the Parasaurolophus is very calm. Hey boo. Seeing this, the electric beast also rushed over to prevent Pidgeot from being attacked again. Zhang Xingyun also quickly switched to attaching spirits to the electric beast. Hey boo guka. The electric beast and the Parasaurolophus started a close battle. After the fists collided, both of them used the Iron Tail to collide. But the electric beast was the one who was hit, and was always attacked by the Parasaurolophus. After the electric beast and the Parasaurolophus pulled away, a wave missile was also launched. But it was shattered by a fist of the Parasaurolophus. While the electric beast was entangled with the Parasaurolophus, Zhang Xingyun also hurried to the side of the Pidgeot, repaired the bones of the Pidgeot's wings, and then applied the medicine that he had just exchanged in the system. Pidgeot also slowed down. Zhang Xingyun transferred a stream of energy to it, and then put it into the Pokeball, to rest for a while. At this time, the energy ball of Parasaurolophus smashed the energy ball of Flowery Petal, but was blocked by the soil propped up by Nidorino with the power of the earth. Swish, swish, swish. Another seed machine gun. Nidorino first used the power of the earth to prop up a wall of earth to block it. Then he used the defense to defend it. He cast the spirit on Nidorino and fought against Parasaurolophus. I made a mistake just now and gave the wrong command, which caused Pidgeot to be injured. On the other side, Nangong and others worked together to fight against the ancient dragonfly, which was better than Zhang Xingyun's side. At this time, Nangong Tanabata Bluebird had already taken off and cooperated with Mook to resist the approach of the ancient dragonfly. Below, Danka's Destruction Deathlight, Litton's Big Character Explosion, and Haunter's Shadow Ball. Even though the ancient dragonfly was an elite level Pokémon, it was hit by everyone's Pokémon and suffered some injuries. The Pokémons of the few people were all precious Pokémons and had been properly trained, so they could still deal with this elite level ancient dragonfly together. Hurry up, repel the ancient dragonfly and quickly support Xingyun. His situation is not very good. Chen Yu shouted. On Zhang Xingyun's side, Electabuzz was seriously injured. Now the only one who could fight Parasaurolophus head on was Nidorino, and the Pokémons of Flowery Petal and Squirtle could not do much damage to Parasaurolophus. TSK Tanabata Bluebird came to support and joined forces with Nidorino. Pidgeot also flew out of the Pokeball. After resting for a few minutes, the injuries on his body were relieved, and he came out to fight again. Nangong and Curlier also came to help Nidorino. Chiru Zhang Xingyun cast the spirit on Curlier, and then Curlier used the immobilization spell on Parasaurus. It interfered with Parasaurus's movement. Pidgeot and Tanabata's two flying type ultimates also attacked from both sides. Nidorino on the ground also used poison needles to predict Parasaurus. Bang! Two flying type ultimates hit one after another, and Parasaurus was also interfered by Curlier, and was not as agile as before. Nidorino was watching the landing point again. This time, Parasaurus was injured, and Zhang Xingyun discovered the earphones on Parasaurus' ears at this time. Tanabata and Pidgeot were also hit by Parasaurus' counterattack. But the two elves looked at Parasaurus covetously. Guka. More than 20 figures of Parasaurus appeared on the field, and another round of seed machine guns came. Bang! After the seed machine guns, Zhang Xingyun could no longer sense Parasaurus. Zhang Xingyun breathed a sigh of relief. This parasitic mushroom was too agile, and had a strong sense of combat. Zhang Xingyun was at a disadvantage throughout the fight. Fortunately, he blocked it. On the other side, the ancient dragonfly also left, and this elite level battle ended just like that. But everyone did not relax. Now an elite level elf appeared, which was very dangerous for them. They had 8 people to block these 2 elite level elves. Actually, there is no need to panic. This may be the elf of the school teacher. Zhang Xingyun expressed his guess. What do you mean? Fang Hongjian asked. Just now I found that the parasitic mushroom was wearing headphones. This was man-made. If this place was man-made, it should be the elf of our school teacher. Didn't you find that these elves have a strong sense of combat and have far more moves than wild elves? Zhang Xingyun analyzed. That makes sense. I was a little surprised just now. The ancient dragonfly only hit the elf seriously, but didn't kill it. I felt a little strange. Chen Yu also expressed her discovery. Maybe there are too many of us 8, and the elves here are not very effective for our training. So I guess this may be a training for us by the school, but this is just a guess. Maybe there is a third party involved, but the probability is a little small. Zhang Xingyun expressed his thoughts. Xingyun's guess makes sense, but when we encounter it, we have to go all out, no matter whether this is a training for us by the school or something else. Chen Yu said. Everyone nodded. In fact, after Zhang Xingyun said this, they all believed it roughly. With the style of the school, it is impossible to ignore their safety issues. Of course, everyone has to go all out, in case they guess wrong, it will be dangerous. Even if the probability of this guess is very low. Now that the parasitic mushroom and the ancient dragonfly have retreated, they have to heal the injured elves. After Zhang Xingyun applied medicine to several elves very skillfully, he also went to apply medicine to the elves of other students. Of course, there are still some vigilants. This class of students is pretty good. In the duty room, Teacher Lee looked at the screen and saw everyone resisting the battle between 2 elves and praised them. Well, it's really good. They can actually block the elite level elf's sudden attack. Zhao Mingshang was also very satisfied with the performance of Zhang Xingyun and his 8 companions. Chapter 135 The adventure ends. This Xingyun performed very well. With 3 normal level Pokémon, he stopped Mr. Zhao's Parasaurolophus, said Wang Yu. My Parasaurolophus told me that Nidorino and the others were inexplicably stronger. This should be his ability. Without this amplification, I think Xingyun would not be able to stop my Parasaurolophus. Zhao Mingshang said. That's why we say that the ability user is too powerful. If Pidgeot gets stronger and then uses his amplification, my Parasaurolophus may not be able to beat Pidgeot. The teachers also agreed. Parasaurolophus is restrained by the flying system 4 times. When Pidgeot reaches the peak of the normal level, it will be very close to the elite level through amplification. The performance of Fang Hongjian, Nangang Yao, and Chen Yu is also worthy of praise. They didn't rush around. Well, she is a trainer material. That Liu Xiaoxu's performance is a bit poor. Several teachers commented. Do you think they can guess that these 2 Pokémon are arranged by us now? Said Teacher Lee. I think they should have guessed it. You can tell from Zhang Xingyun's expression. The screen showed Zhang Xingyun's expression when he saw Parasaurolophus's earphones. The light was a little dim, but it was still visible. Maybe an elite level battle took place in the place where everyone was resting. Until dawn, no elves attacked. Everyone got up one after another and changed their guard. At 6 o'clock in the morning, Zhang Xingyun returned to the tree hole and practiced until 9 o'clock before coming out. It's not that the battle last night was fruitless. Zhang Xingyun now has a rough idea of his own strength. With a few elves like Nidorino and the spirit attachment technique, he can fight against an early elite elf. After walking out of the tree hole, everyone's mental state was not very good. They were attacked last night and couldn't sleep well. After saying hello, Zhang Xingyun washed up and took out food for the elves. He also ate on the side. After discussing, the few people behind continued to walk around. If you can meet classmates, that would be the best. You can form a team. In this way, if you meet elite elves, you will have a chance of winning. If you don't meet classmates, it would be good to go for a sweep. After all, you can get some wool. After breakfast, the 8 people left their temporary residence pointed in a direction, and walked over. At this time, Gao Yuan and the other 6 were also found by the Parasaurolophus and the ancient dragonfly. A battle also took place. Gao Yuan and the others, the highest of whom was only at the ordinary midterm level, also fought hard, but it was useless. They were soon beaten by 2 elite elves. The Parasaurolophus and the ancient dragonfly only defeated their elves, but did not kill them. Seeing this, Gao Yuan and the others also realized that these 2 elite elves might be the teachers. As they expected, after the fight, the Golduck appeared with a small device on his body, and Wang Yu inside also explained it. Several people were a little tearful, and could only apply medicine to the injured elves. Perhaps the resources they plundered might be the medicine fee for their elves. Other students in the class were also attacked by elite elves. A small group of 3 or 4 people will get 1 elite level elf, and groups of 5 or more will get 2. Some can fight almost equally, so the loss is not too big, and some, like Gao Yuan, are just cleaned up. Hey, it's not so easy to get the wool of the school, Wang Yu said with a smile, while sitting in front of the screen. Generally speaking, the performance of the students in class 20 satisfied him. There are also students with novice strength, but they are not assigned elite level elves, but ordinary elves. They matched elves to them according to different groups and different strengths. The screen turned, and Zhang Xingyun's group wiped out another tribe at this time. Last night was a surprise attack, so let's have a head-on battle today. Teacher Zhao, make some arrangements, let them see it, don't let them get too cocky. Okay. After Zhang Xingyun and others divided the harvest, they ran into Gao Yuan and others. Gao Yuan and others looked much worse than them. Gao Yuan and others elves were still wrapped in bandages, and they looked a bit miserable. Wow, it's great that Xingyun sees you. Gao Yuan and the others were very excited. Now they didn't have to be beaten badly. Even if they were to be beaten, they would be beaten together. After chatting, Zhang Xingyun and the others also knew that Gao Yuan and the others were picked by Parasaurolophus and Ancient Dragonfly. They also knew that it was indeed arranged by the teacher. The 6 people from Gao Yuan also joined in. Among the 6 people, there were 4 ordinary level trainers and 2 novice level trainers. Zhang Xingyun was thinking, if these 6 people joined, would the number of attacking Pokémon increase? Today is the last day, and they shouldn't let them pass so easily. Sure enough, when they were happily sweeping the Pokémon tribe, they encountered Parasaurolophus and Ancient Dragonfly. There was also an elite level Crowhead. Everyone knew that these were the teacher's Pokémons, so they all let the Pokémons go to meet them. Zhang Xingyun and the other 8 people were not as panicked as they were attacked last night. This time, the 3 elite level Pokémon did not sneak attack, but waited for them to slow down for a while before taking action. Zhang Xingyun was still the same, facing Parasaurolophus. He refused the help from Nangang Yao and other students. This time, with the previous experience of fighting, with Pidgeot as the main force, he fought back and forth with Parasaurolophus, and did not lose the upper hand. This is a rare experience, and the opponent is an elite level Pokémon. Nidorino's Fierce Poison and Poison Needle, Pidgeot's Brave Bird and Swallow return, and the fighting skills of the Electric Beast were used more smoothly in this battle. But Zhang Xingyun could hold on, but Gao Yuan couldn't. Moreover, the 3 Pokémon of Parasaurolophus would cooperate with each other, and would not fight alone like last night. Everyone was also beaten up. After the fight was almost over, the 3 Pokémon of Parasaurolophus stopped attacking. He led everyone out of the trial site. Everyone was very embarrassed, and their clothes were a little dirty and torn. How is it? Did you experience the strength of the elite level? Wang Yu and other teachers were already waiting here, announcing the end of this trial. Then other students came back one after another, and it seemed that they were a little worse than Zhang Xingyun and the dozen people. After everyone arrived, several teachers told the students about their shortcomings, and also instructed the students on what to do. This is different from the classes in school. Let the students go through it before teaching. The effect is still different. After the lecture, they took a bus back to Changning. This time, the harvest does not need to be handed in, and there is no performance evaluation. Zhang Xingyun's harvest this time is still not small. The elves have been trained, and some resources have been collected. It's just that young Kiris is a little bored. After returning home, Zhang Xingyun took a bath first. After the bath, He lay on a deck chair and stretched comfortably. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136 Superpower Association. At 7 o'clock in the evening, Zhang Xingyun walked out of Boss Li's shop. He took out his mobile phone and sent back the harvest he had previously worked with Nangan Yeo to attack the Venus Flycatcher tribe. After sending it out, he went to the Big Stomach King restaurant and booked a private room to have a good meal. Youngji okay. When Nidorino and Pidgeot advance to the elite level, you can come out at will. I'm very sorry for this time. To compensate, you can order whatever you want, and I'll pay. Zhang Xingyun took out a menu and gave it to young Kiris, saying proudly. Young Kiris began to look through it, pointing with his little hand, asking for this and that. Young Kiris ordered quite a lot. After Zhang Xingyun wrote it down, he showed it to Nidorino and the others. After counting it, he took it out to the waiter. After a while, the waiter came to knock on the door, and Zhang Xingyun put young Kiris away and let the waiter in. After the waiter left, he let young Kiris out. Come on, let's eat together. We've gained a lot this time, especially the three Nidolinas. They can now join forces to fight against the early elites. It's worth celebrating. Nido hey boo. Ding dong. Zhang Xingyun picked up his phone and looked at it. It was a message from the Changning Superpower Association. The general idea was that they learned that he was a superpower user and invited him to visit the Superpower Association. Swipe up and there was another message, also from the Changning Superpower Association. The time was the day when Zhang Xingyun was attacked and killed by blood bats in the wild. After the replacement, Zhang Xingyun did not check the message carefully. Zhang Xingyun thought about it and decided to find a time to go. Nido hahaha, it's okay. Everyone continue to eat and drink well. The atmosphere was very lively and the giant claw mantis was also eating on the side. Hassan okay. Okay, did everyone hear it? If you have any questions in the future, you can also ask the giant claw mantis. The elves nodded and called to the giant claw mantis in a friendly manner. Mantis has also become familiar with everyone. It is not as aloof as it was at the beginning. Now it is willing to give some advice to the Pokémons. By analogy, Mantis is a Pokémon in the late elite stage. There is absolutely no problem for it to teach Nidorino. After a lively meal, they return home. Training and entertainment. Zhang Xingyun was browsing the official trainer website. Now it is almost time for Nidorino to choose a Moonstone. The best quality Moonstone is the best. However, Zhang Xingyun checked for a long time. The intermediate Moonstone is available on the official website, but the advanced one is not. The intermediate one does not meet Zhang Xingyun's expectations. It seems that he can only buy it on the system. The higher the level of the Moonstone, the more impure the energy contained, which is good for the strength and qualifications of the Pokémon used. After selecting it in the system, there is a top level Moonstone worth 23,000 energy points. If converted into Pokémon coins, it is almost more than 20 million. You must know that the intermediate one is only 500,000 or 600,000, while the top level one in the system requires 23,000 energy points. After Zhang Xingyun saw this top level Moonstone, he looked down on the high level ones, let alone the intermediate ones. It seems that it will take some time to accumulate this top level Moonstone. The protagonist can make money by making intermediate energy blocks, and it is also expensive to cultivate Pokémon, especially young Kiris. Rounding off, the protagonist can be considered an elite trainer, plus he can make intermediate energy blocks. Nidorino needs to be considered, and Pidgeot also needs to consider getting some natural treasures for Pidgeot. The evolution of Electabuzz also requires an electric amplifier. Hey boo Hassan on the training ground. Electabuzz rarely watched TV and came to the training ground to ask Mantis for advice. Maybe it was because he suffered a lot in the battle with Parasaurolophus this time, so he asked Mantis for advice. Zhang Xingyun took out his notebook and started writing. The next day, Zhang Xingyun sent the Pokémon to the club, and after arranging the training for the Pokémon, He took Mantis to the Psychic Association in Changning, also known as the Ability Association. The office building of Changning Superpower Association is located in the bustling area of the city center. It is not far from the Elf Center and Dragon Domain store. The building of the Superpower Association is not as magnificent and beautiful as other high-rise buildings. The building of the Superpower Association looks a bit antique and full of vicissitudes of history. It is unique in this bustling area. When Zhang Xingyun arrived, it was already past 10 in the morning. At this time, there were many people sitting in the office hall on the first floor of the Superpower Association. Zhang Xingyun could feel that they were not superpowers, but people who came to the Superpower Association to do business. The Superpower Association would also accept tasks which required superpowers to complete and were relatively niche. Zhang Xingyun walked to the receptionist at the front desk and took out his mobile phone to show her. He was taken to the VIP room by her. Soon a middle-aged man came to receive Zhang Xingyun. The middle-aged man was named Feng Kaiming, and he was the director of the External Relations Department of Changning Superpower Association. This middle-aged man was also a superpower. Zhang Xingyun could feel it, and he could also feel that Zhang Xingyun was a superpower. Naturally, there was no need to test anything. Mr. Zhang, you have such strength at such a young age. You have a promising future. Feng Kaiming complimented. It's just luck. The two chatted one after another, and Zhang Xingyun also registered his information in the middle. People with special abilities are also strongly supported by the government. They don't need to do anything after joining the association. They just participate when they are called up. Of course, this is also paid. After joining the Superpower Association, it is equivalent to leaving a bottom here, which is convenient for the relevant departments. You can also consult relevant books, and some seniors will give regular instructions, and peers will also exchange and learn regularly. In addition, there are allowances, status treatment. You came at the right time. A very interesting thing just came from the top. Do you want to visit it? Feng Kaiming said. Excuse me, what is it? It's a special stone, small. I heard from the people above that it can make a kind of elves feel the transition of life, and this kind of elves is the final evolution form. So, the superiors sent a copy to us for us to study. After all, we are more familiar with life energy. That's really interesting. Where is it? I want to take a look. Zhang Xingyun had a guess in his mind, but he still wanted to take a look. Then follow me. The two took the elevator to the 10th floor and walked into an exhibition room. There were many strange things in the exhibition room, including ancient stones, broken soup spoons, and a tattered black clothes, which were filled with a faint energy. This is the place. There was no one in the exhibition room, and Zhang Xingyun also saw the stone that Feng Kaiming mentioned. This is the Super Evolution Stone. Zhang Xingyun thought. Chapter 137 Super Evolution Stone. Strictly speaking, this is not a stone, but a large glass ball. There is a gene spiral in the center, which is emitting a faint colorful light. Zhang Xingyun sent it to the system, and found that it was the Mage Stone of Blasto Eyes. Did you find anything? You look shocked. Feng Kaiming said. No, I just felt a very special life energy in this glass ball. Zhang Xingyun replied. It's okay to call it a glass ball. We are used to being special stones. We are very sensitive to life energy. The higher-ups gave us a piece. You can pick it up and observe it. Feng Kaiming chuckled. Minister Feng, are there many of these things? Zhang Xingyun picked up the Super Evolution Stone and observed it. We have one in Changning, and I believe other cities should have one, and they are studying it at the same time. President Zhao has also felt it personally. He said that it has a life energy similar to that of the elves when they evolve. If we can study it, it will be a big discovery, so we took it out and gave it to all of us to try and see if we can make new discoveries. Feng Kaiming explained. Zhang Xingyun knew this, but it was risky to say it out. Does this have a companion creature? Perhaps we can infer its purpose through this companion creature. Zhang Xingyun said. I don't know about this. Changning's Superpower Association only has this one. This was obtained by an official in a secret realm. There is also a document that is still being deciphered. There are 3 requirements for super evolution. The first is that the trainer and the elf must have a high bond. The second is this super evolution stone, and the third is the keystone. The elf wears the super evolution stone and the trainer wears the keystone. Under the bond between the two, super evolution will occur. I believe that super evolution should be available soon. Zhang Xingyun really wants to take this away, but it is impossible. He can't tell the specific reason. How to explain it when he tells it? What if it attracts the attention of some people? Anyway, it can be exchanged in the system, so there is no need. Feng Kaiming was not surprised to see that Zhang Xingyun didn't gain anything. Then he took Zhang Xingyun to visit the building. In this building, a room was also vacated for Zhang Xingyun. In this way, Zhang Xingyun can also accept task commissions. Zhang Xingyun also got his certificate, a book, and a special card. Seeing that the time was almost up, Zhang Xingyun said goodbye and left. Feng Kaiming saw him off to the gate. Today, Zhang Xingyun came here and saw not many people with special abilities. Most of them were busy. On the 10th of every month, people with special abilities would exchange their experiences, and President Zhao Yuanqian would also teach some cultivation experiences. It's a pity, otherwise Zhang Xingyun would have planned to communicate with the people with special abilities. The system is just one direction, and it is also good to be able to communicate with other people with special abilities. Originally, Zhang Xingyun did not plan to report to this association, but came here after seeing some of Nangan Yao's methods. Zhang Xingyun believes that as his strength improves, he will definitely meet other people with special abilities. It is definitely good to know more, and it is not certain that he can save his life at a critical moment. The association generally does not force people with special abilities to join. In fact, they all have information. For example, when Zhang Xingyun said that he was a person with special abilities in front of Ling Feng at the beginning, the association recorded it. Then they will invite you to join the association. After joining, you will just be listed as a member. There are not many things to do, but there are subsidies. When you are asked to do something, there will be generous rewards. Zhang Xingyun just walked out of the door of the Superpower Association, and his cell phone rang. He picked it up and saw that it was Lin Ji's call. Zhang Xingyun answered it. Hey, is that Xingyun? Brother Ji, it's me. Hahaha, Chengzu and I are back in Changning. Do you want to get together? Okay, where? Haoting. Okay. Zhang Xingyun drove his motorcycle to the Haoting, mentioned by Lin Ji, and went directly to Lin Ji's box. After opening the door, he saw Chengzu and Lin Ji sitting there. Hahaha, long time no see. Xingyun, long time no see. The three hugged each other, and Zhang Xingyun found a chair to sit down. When did you come back? How are you getting along with your mentor? Zhang Xingyun asked after sitting down. This time we are here to get information and ask for a long vacation. We will leave in the evening. Chengzu said. So fast? Yeah. As for the harvest, there are some. Thanks to the care of the instructor, Linji and I both reached the late common level of our initial Pokémon, and we also cultivated several Pokémon. Chengzu said. Awesome, your instructor is so nice. He actually took such good care of you too. Zhang Xingyun was also happy for the progress of the two. If I had known that Nidorino and the others would improve so quickly, it would have been possible with the help of the system and Zhang Xingyun's hard work. My instructor is a close friend of my father, so he also took care of us. Chengzu explained. I see. Where did you go to do research? We went to a newly descended secret realm near Nanfu City with our instructor. Because it has just descended, there are still many resources. Xingyun, you can also come to stay with us for a few days during the winter vacation. Okay. Nanfu City is located in the neighboring province of Nanayu Province, Gixi Province. The three of them started eating and drinking again. During the chat, Zhang Xingyun also talked about his recent situation. Awesome, the ability user is also a direct line trainer. I envy you. Linji was a little surprised after hearing what Zhang Xingyun said. I can also make some energy blocks. Okay. Zhang Xingyun took out a few boxes of Earth King and Energy Spirit and gave them to the two, asking them to accept them. How can this be possible? You can keep them for yourself. Both of them declined. Don't worry, I can make them. You two can accept them. After hearing this, the two of them accepted them with some embarrassment. Xingyun, This should be useful to you, so I'll give it to you for research. After Linji and Chengzu looked at each other, Chengzu took out a stone from his backpack. Keystone? Zhang Xingyun saw this, and his heart moved. He had just seen the super evolution stone in the morning, and now he saw this keystone. Zhang Xingyun took it, and looked at it. This is indeed a keystone. Hey, how did you get this? Zhang Xingyun asked. My rhythm stone was about to evolve, and it needed something to assist the evolution, so I went to look in some caves, and found this stone. I thought it should be a treasure, but unfortunately I have never been able to figure it out, so I'll give it to you for research. Take it, neither of us can figure it out anyway. Then I'll take it. Seeing that Chengzu insisted on giving it to him, Zhang Xingyun accepted it. Chapter 138 Keystone. Brother Zhu, did you only find this stone? Zhang Xingyun tried to ask. Yes, I only found this one at the beginning, and there is nothing else nearby. Oh, okay. What's the matter, Xingyun? Did you find anything? Chengzu asked casually, after looking at Zhang Xingyun's expression. I didn't find anything. I just think this is very extraordinary. I will collect more in the future. Maybe I can sell it for a good price. In the future, you have to collect more stones like this. I also saw this in the Superpower Association. It should be very precious. Although Zhang Xingyun did not dare to say super evolution, he also reminded the two to collect more. After listening, the two nodded, indicating that they understood. Then I will believe in your intuition. If I come across it in the future, I will collect it. Chengzu said. Linji also said that he would collect it. Soon, time came to the evening. Linji and the others said goodbye to Zhang Xingyun and left. Before leaving, they also asked Xingyun to remember to visit them during the winter vacation. After parting, Zhang Xingyun also came to the training room of the club. Holding a keystone in his hand, he observed it carefully. Now in the team, the ones who can super evolve are Pidgeot, Baby Kirus, and Squirtle. Zhang Xingyun is very confident that he has a deep bond with them. 2 of the 3 conditions have been met. The only thing left is to wait for the super evolution stone and evolve into the final form before trying again. Squirtle. When Zhang Xingyun was observing the keystone, Squirtle ran over and told Zhang Xingyun about its training progress. Let's go, Squirtle. Let me see the results of your training. Zhang Xingyun put away the keystone and took Squirtle to a venue. Okay, let me see the skills you have learned first. Squirtle. The coldness came, and a freezing light flashed, freezing everything it touched. Awesome. The power of this freezing light is okay, but the speed needs to be improved. Anything else? Squirtle. Whoosh. Squirtle released the blizzard skill, which surprised Zhang Xingyun. Squirtle, you can use blizzard now. Squirtle. Squirtle said that after learning freeze beam, it also learned this blizzard. Okay, this blizzard has a large coverage area. Squirtle. Well, this can also restrain dragon Pokémon. Squirtle, do you have any ideas? Zhang Xingyun patted Squirtle and said, anything else? Squirtle said that its wave power has also improved a lot. Okay, then, you stand over there, I'll see your wave power. Squirtle stood in an open space with a launcher around him. Are you ready? Squirtle. Let's start. Zhang Xingyun clicked the button, and 4 practice bullets were fired from all around. Squirtle dodged it smoothly with both hands, looking very relaxed. Squirtle also asked Zhang Xingyun to stop for a while, find a black cloth, put it on, and start again. Pay attention. Double attack. Squirtle dodged it easily. Very good. It seems that your Wava guide perception is not bad. The next is all directions, not just 4 directions. Jenny. Squirtle said it knew. Squirtle was shot from all directions, not just a single plane shooting, but a whole space shooting. Speed up. This time, it will not be easy for Squirtle to dodge, and it will no longer use the Wava guide force to sense the trajectory of the bullet to dodge, but use the Wava guide force to change the trajectory of the bullet. Squirtle is also very smart, changing the bullet in one direction, shooting the bullet in another direction, and using bullets to block bullets. This shows that Squirtle has mastered his own Wava guide. Squirtle, I'm going to go to 4th gear. Do you want to continue? Jenny. Okay. Seeing that Squirtle was still stable, Zhang Xingyun went to 4th gear. The speed increased, and it could be seen that Squirtle was gradually struggling. Bang! Squirtle couldn't dodge in time, and was hit in the head by a bullet. The shooting speed was very fast. After entering Squirtle's Wava Guide perception, it had no time to control and was shot. Once Squirtle was shot, it was shot one after another. Zhang Xingyun also stopped. Squirtle, you have made great progress. I remember that you just adapted to the 1st gear a while ago, but now you can practice the 4th gear. Jenny, great progress. It seems that you will soon be able to advance to the late novice stage. When the time comes, we will challenge Dratini again. The victory will definitely be ours. Jenny. Zhang Xingyun naturally knew what Squirtle was thinking. After being defeated by Dratini earlier, he was very unwilling and wanted to defeat Dratini, so he came to practice ice skills. This is the Misty Field. When Zhang Xingyun was communicating with Squirtle, Zhang Xingyun saw the light pink mist spreading out from Flowery Petal. Flower after Flowery Petal released the Misty Field. Flowery Petal was in the center. This move can halve the damage of dragon type moves in the game of the previous life. In reality, it depends on the strength of the released Pokémon and the strength of the dragon type Pokémon. Flowery Petal saw Zhang Xingyun looking at it and also used Fairy Wind. Flowery Petal is also very powerful. She actually learned these 2 skills. Very good. Flower. Zhang Xingyun praised. At present Flowery Petal is also in the late novice stage. She can also play in the Novice Cup. Now, if you encounter a dragon type Pokémon, it will be much easier to fight. Crunch, crunch. Zhang Xingyun turned around and saw that young Kyrus had eaten another piece of Star Steel ore. Many ores and energy blocks piled around him in the morning were almost eaten up now. The key is that young Kyrus was a little strange when he was eating. Zhang Xingyun walked forward and saw that young Kyrus had actually learned to bite and crush and was chewing the ore. Young Kyrus, you are such a clever little ghost. Young GY, don't you get up to train? You just eat all day long. Look at everyone, they are training very hard. How can you be lazy? Young Kyrus asked Zhang Xingyun to move away a little. It wanted to show Zhang Xingyun its skills. With a rustling sound, the sand near young Kyrus flew up and formed a tornado around young Kyrus. But they all flew around young Kyrus, then expanded outwards and then retracted. Let Zhang Xingyun know young Kyrus's control. Young G. A big hole appeared in the rotating sandstorm, and young Kyrus asked Zhang Xingyun to walk in. Zhang Xingyun walked in and flew around the 2. Young Kyrus condensed the flying sand into a huge brick and slapped it towards a place. Bang! A pit appeared at the place that was slapped. Awesome, little Kyrus. I didn't expect you could do this while eating. Little Kyrus. Then the electric beasts also showed the effect of their training. Overall, they all made progress. Chapter 139 University and Rookie Cup. The next day, Zhang Xingyun came to school for class. During class, Nangang Yao's voice came. There is a special stone at the association. Do you want to go and see it after school? No, I went there yesterday. Then did you get a booklet? There are some common sense in it. Remember to read it. Yes. Both of them are telepathic and will not be discovered. Look, this is what Xingyun and his classmates did in the wild. Look at what they are doing, eating barbecue. The blackboard showed a photo of Zhang Xingyun and others eating barbecue. The light was a little dim, but it was okay to see that it was Zhang Xingyun and others. Remember, don't do these enjoyments when you go out in the wild in the future. This time it was organized by the school, so you are like this. You are not allowed to do this in the future. The students all said they knew. The day before yesterday, the teachers only briefly said something, and many things have not been said yet. Look at this temporary residence. Look at Jiangtao and Zuiyui. They actually chose the riverside. The blackboard showed the temporary residence built by 2 students by the river. It is very dangerous to build a temporary residence by the river. Many elves need to drink water. You built a temporary residence there. Don't you think you are asking for trouble? Several classmates in the class laughed. You saw it in the end. They were beaten like this by the elves passing by. Another picture was released. In the picture, the clothes of the 2 people were torn, and they were chased and beaten by several elves. Although it is more convenient to wash some things by the river, it is also very dangerous. Elves with gentle personalities may not attack you, but elves in the wild have different personalities. So you must remember it. Many problems were pointed out later, and they were all explained one by one, so that the students could understand the wild better. After class, Zhang Xingyun and Nangang Yao were called to the office by Wang Yu. You two sit down first. It's like this. Our local university, Changning University, sent a message this morning indicating that you two can be recommended to this university, and the treatment will be based on the first class standard. Wang Yu turned on the computer and showed the message to Zhang Xingyun and Nangang Yao. Teacher, this Changning University is a first class university, right? Nangang Yao asked after reading it. Yes, this Changning University is a first class university, and the faculty is pretty good. Teacher is just telling you a little bit. In fact, with your talents, it is not a problem to go to any of the top 10 universities in China. After listening to it, the two refused the recommendation. Wang Yu also understood very well. It's not that he doesn't support local universities, but he can't delay the students' future. After chatting for a while, he let the two go back. As soon as Zhang Xingyun sat down, Song Weizhao and Zhao Xiaofeng turned around and asked why the teacher asked them to go. Zhang Xingyun talked about the recommendation of Changning University. Hey, which university is your target? Imperial Capital? Or Magic City? Or Jinling? Or National Defense? After listening to Zhang Xingyun, Song Weizhao asked, how should I know? It's not certain that you will have to return to Changning in the end. Zhang Xingyun said with a smile. What a joke. You at least have a degree in National South Vietnam University. You will never come to Changning University. South Vietnam University is also one of the top 10 universities. I believe you can do it. Song Weizhao patted Zhang Xingyun on the shoulder and said affirmatively. Don't just ask me. Which university do you two want to apply for? Zhang Xingyun asked. I want to apply to Shanghai, but it's a bit difficult for me. Anyway, this is my ideal. Zhao Xiaofeng said. Oh, South Vietnam University in our province is fine. I don't know if I can get in. Song Weizhao replied. What about you, Deskmate? As for me, I don't want Jinling anyway. I'll go with the flow for other places. Nangang Yao said indifferently. I'll just take a look and go to whichever university I can go to. Ding-ling-ling, ding-ling-ling. The bell for class rang again. After a while, Mr. Huang, who teaches history, walked in. Everyone stopped talking and listened to the class. There is still a long time to choose a university. At present, the most important thing is to train the elves. In the following days, if I need to go to class, I will go to school during the day and make energy blocks at night. If I don't have to go to class, I will go hunting in the wild or make energy blocks all day. Time soon came to November, the time of the Rookie Cup. During this period, the strength of young Kyrus and Squirtle also reached the late novice stage, and Flowery D is still at the peak of the late novice stage. Although they can all break through, they have not broken through, because they are improving their qualifications. It happened that they met this Rookie Cup again, so they just let it go. In this way, Zhang Xingyun has 3 elves to fight. It's all because Zhang Xingyun didn't back up the information of young Kyrus on the government's official website, so only Squirtle and Flowery D can fight, and young Kyrus can only be wronged. There is no way. On November 3rd, the Changning City Rookie Cup opened. Zhang Xingyun arrived at the place very early. The Rookie Cup was held in the Pokémon Battle Hall in Changning. At this time, the battle hall was already crowded with people. After Zhang Xingyun signed in, he saw Yi Crossing and others waving to him, and walked over. Why are there only a few of you? Didn't the other students come to participate? Zhang Xingyun looked at Yi Crossing and the other 4 and asked. I don't know. I didn't see them. They probably haven't arrived yet. Sit down. The opening ceremony is about to begin. Zhang Xingyun sat down and waited for the opening ceremony of the Rookie Cup. Suddenly, the whole place was quiet, and a passionate music sounded. The big screen of the battle hall showed various scenes of Pokémon fighting. The wonderful battle highlights of Pokémon such as Charizard, Lizard King, Steelix, and Desert Dragonfly made the people below excited. Hello everyone, I'm the host Wenzang. The annual Rookie Cup has begun. Let us send blessings to the participating trainers. Clap, clap, and thunderous applause. Now let me introduce, this is our Changning's chief investigator Ling Feng. Please applaud and welcome him. Clap, clap, and the applause rang again. Ling Feng stood up, bowed to everyone, and sat down. This is the president of our Changling Superpower Association, President Zhao Yuanqian. Everyone applaud and welcome him. Another round of applause broke out. Then he introduced the Cultivator Association, the military representatives, the government representatives and some prestigious people, and then stopped. Before every competition, he would first introduce the big names participating. This is a routine. The Rookie Cup is a city-level competition, and there should be many powerful trainers among them. Zhang Xingyun is looking forward to fighting with these people, and he is confident that he can win. Chapter 140, First Battle of the Rookie Cup. After talking for a while, the host said the Rookie Cup competition begins. The atmosphere immediately became high. The big screen in the battle hall has the information of all participating trainers, and the battles are matched by the intelligence system. Random matching ensures a certain degree of fairness. Changning's Pokémon Battle Hall is very large and can hold more than 20 games at the same time. Zhang Xingyun checked the game information on his mobile phone. It was in the second round of the number 9 field. The opponent was an ordinary looking boy. While the applause rang out, in the few minutes that Zhang Xingyun was looking at his phone, a game ended. Zhang Xingyun looked up. It was Ryalu vs. Butterfree. Ryalu's trainer is a young man in gorgeous clothes with a somewhat arrogant look. Butterfree's trainer is a dark-faced, honest-looking young man. At first glance, you can tell that this honest young man is a straw hat boy or bug catcher who pursues his dreams. In the anime, it is to give experience to the protagonist. In reality, experience is also given to the protagonist, such as the young man in Chinese clothes. As soon as he came on the field, although Ryalu was restrained by Butterfree, he was quickly solved by Ryalu within 30 seconds. This so-called attribute restraint became insignificant in the face of Ryalu's sufficient resource training and appropriate combat training. Butterfree's trainer took back the Pokémon and left the field sadly. It was also his bad luck that he met the wave Pokémon Ryalu as soon as he came on the field. Zhang Xingyun took a look inside. If he hadn't had the help of the system, he might have been similar to that young man. The Pokémon couldn't be well trained and couldn't afford energy cubes. It could only eat tree fruits, and it might not even be possible to eat tree fruits. The opponents on the field were not all like the previous one. There were also fights back and forth. Wow, awesome. Great job, Hunting Swallowtail. A girl successfully defeated Bulbasaur using Hunting Swallowtail. It caused cheers from many people. It was obvious that the hunting butterfly was not well trained, but its performance in the battle was very impressive. Under the command of the trainer, it successfully defeated the starter Pokémon. Zhang Xingyun also applauded. Trainers from poor families do not necessarily lose to trainers from rich families. It's just that the proportion is small. This Rookie Cup is the performance time for the younger generation of Changning. With the new policy, the gap is still acceptable, not as outrageous as in previous years. This year, the proportion of trainers from poor families who win will definitely be higher than in previous years. In this way, the government can also support more trainers from poor families. Zhang Xingyun stood up, and it was almost his turn. Come on, Xingyun. Come on. Yi Crossing and others cheered for Zhang Xingyun. Don't worry, I'm going. Zhang Xingyun walked to the field and looked at the opponent calmly. The game begins. The referee's flag was drawn, announcing the start of the game. Squirtle and Meowth appeared on the battlefield. Meow, approach quickly, Shadow Clone plus Crazy Grab. Meow quickly ran, split into multiple shadows, claws glowing, rushing towards Squirtle. Zhang Xingyun also knew Meow's information. Deep Yellow qualifications, late novice strength. Squirtle, we also Shadow Clone. Jenny. Several Squirtle figures appeared on the field. Meow could only attack one at random, but the attack was on the shadow. Squirtle, Water Gun. Jenny. Squirtle's water gun hit Meow. Meow was knocked to the ground by the water gun, but he quickly got up and ran again. This Meow's approach was still correct. Squirtle's own speed was not fast, and the opponent should want to kite Squirtle. Squirtle, use Water Wave to the ground, and then use Freezing Ray. Jenny Squirtle threw the water wave to where he was standing and then used freezing ray. There was a layer of ice around where Squirtle was standing. Meow Meowth also moved further away from Squirtle. Meow Meowth called out, probably the call of a skill, hoping to make Squirtle neglect it, but unfortunately Squirtle was unmoved. When Meowth's trainer saw that Squirtle was unmoved, he asked Meowth to use other skills. Meowth, noise attack. Meow Squirtle. Squirtle held his head in pain. Very good. Meowth. High five. Surprise attack. Meow Squirtle, stop pretending. Freezing ray. Squirtle became energetic and no longer in pain. Not good. Meowth, retreat quickly. Meow. At this time, Meowth had already walked onto the ice and paddled towards Squirtle, but he couldn't change direction. After hearing what his trainer said, he couldn't leave, even if he wanted to. Whoosh! Squirtle's freezing ray hit Meowth's abdomen and soon spread to his whole body, freezing it. Squirtle spit out water gun again, but it was not very powerful and it stopped Meowth from moving. Zhang Xingyun looked at Meowth's trainer to see if he wanted to surrender. Meowth's trainer was still gritting his teeth, clenching his fists, struggling with his mind. Squirtle, wave missile, don't shoot it. Squirtle. Squirtle condensed a wave missile across his chest and aimed it at Meowth in the ice. At this time, Meowth was still struggling in the ice. I admire your friendship with the Pokémon, but it ends here, otherwise I will attack Squirtle. Zhang Xingyun said to Meowth's trainer. Meow Meowth shouted, his voice a little sharp. The general idea was that it could fight again and fight for its trainer. Meow Meow, forget it. We are not strong enough. We really can't win. Meow. Oh, sorry, referee, I give up. The game is over. Zhang Xingyun wins this game. Clap, clap, clap. The people watching Zhang Xingyun's game all applauded. Bang. Meow Meow also broke free, looking a little unwilling, but was called back by the trainer. Thank you for showing mercy. You're welcome. The two shook hands, and Zhang Xingyun walked off the field. People who are trainers have the best relationship with the original Pokémon. And Zhang Xingyun's behavior just now was not to show off his strength or to show off, it was just unnecessary. Chapter 141 Axe-Toothed Dragon. Xingyun is so handsome, very graceful. Yi Crossing gave Zhang Xingyun a thumbs up and said, yeah, if I'm strong enough, I'll do the same. Zhang Xingyun smiled and said, actually, it's really not necessary, we are both victorious. Hey, drink some water. Thank you. Zhang Xingyun took the water handed over by Yi Crossing and drank it. By the way, have you seen any of our classmates? Yes, Zhang Jian has played, and now Weezhou and Gaoyuan are also on the court. Several people watched the game and chatted on the side, talking about which trainer has a better chance of winning. You guys sit down for a while, I'll go down first. Yi Crossing put the drinks down and stood up. Come on. Okay. From time to time, there was a shout from the field, applauding for the trainers who performed well. In the competition, Yi Crossing's water leap fish quickly defeated the opponent and won the victory for Yi Crossing. Yi Crossing's water leap fish was very talented. If Zhang Xingyun hadn't sensed Squirtle at the beginning, he might have chosen this water leap fish. Whether it is the skills or qualifications, they are all top notch. Congratulations, you won the first game. Zhang Xingyun congratulated. Hahaha, thank you. What about them? They went down to compete. Oh. Yi Crossing took a sip of water and looked at the competition field. Look, Weezhou's Makuhito seems to be at a disadvantage. Yi Crossing said. Zhang Xingyun looked over and saw that Song Weezhou was indeed at a disadvantage. Song Weezhou's Makuhito was kitted by the opponent's Scorpio, and Scorpio also restrained Makuhito, so he didn't have much chance of winning. Doesn't he have other elves? Why did he send Makuhito to fight Scorpio? Maybe it's over. Zhang Xingyun said. While the two of them were chatting, Song Weezhou's Makuhito was found an opportunity by the opponent's Scorpio and defeated the Makuhito. Song Weezhou failed and was defeated by others in the first game. Hey, Yi Crossing, look, Mo Jiangtao is also going to be finished. Almost all the students in the class came to participate. Of course someone in some lost. There is more than one school in Changning, and most of these students have joined in. Xingyun, look, Nangang classmate. Zhang Xingyun looked over along the direction of Yi Crossing's finger and saw Nangan Yeo. At this time, Nangan Yeo was commanding Dratini and was fighting Vulpix. Her opponent was obviously also a smart trainer who could fight back and forth with Nangan Yeo's Dratini. But he was still defeated by Dratini, which caused cheers from the audience. Nangan Yeo's Dratini is a quasi-god, so it will naturally attract attention. She is also a beauty and a high-level trainer. Seeing her solve the opponent beautifully, the audience applauded and cheered for her. Your beautiful classmate is very strong. Are you attracted to her? Yi Crossing joked. No, if you are attracted to her, you can pursue her. Just this Dratini shows that she is a rich woman. Zhang Xingyun replied. Ha ha ha, aren't you moved? We are both capable people. No. Why? No feeling. Young people don't know the good of rich women. Women will only affect the speed of my training of elves. Hey, you two are here. How about it? Did I win beautifully? Nangan Yeo saw Zhang Xingyun and Yi Crossing from the aisle and walked over. Great. Zhang Xingyun gave a thumbs up and said. Nangan classmate, have a drink. Yi Crossing handed a bottle of drink to Nangan Yeo. Nangan Yeo thanked and took it. Don't you have other elves? Only mini dragons? Zhang Xingyun asked. Yes, there is no money to train new elves. Will you help me, big brother Zhang? Nangan Yeo chuckled and answered Zhang Xingyun's question. I'm still waiting for you to help me. Zhang Xingyun said unhappily. Really, my family has cut off my source of income, and my own savings are not much left. I beg for support from the big brother. Nangan Yeo cried miserably. Zhang Xingyun looked at her, and then at her long straight legs under her skirt. Oh, that's so pitiful. You have a pair of legs too. Why don't you go and ride a tricycle? You won't starve to death, and you can also support your family. Puchy Yi Crossing couldn't help laughing when listening to the two people's chat. Yi Crossing, what do you think? What can I do? I'll just sit and watch. Yi Crossing smiled and replied. After listening to Zhang Xingyun's words, Nangan Yeo also rolled her eyes. Okay, it's my turn. Wish me victory. Well, come on, Xingyun. Come on, stingy guy. Zhang Xingyun looked at his phone, said something, left his seat, and walked off the court. Came to the number 6 court. Zhang Xingyun just stood in his position and saw the opponent opposite him with his arms folded across his chest, looking at him with a perverse expression. His opponent this time was a man with dyed blonde hair, wearing very tight clothes, and a cocky look, like a bad boy. Looking at you, you're a poor fellow. Forget it, let me show you what a Pokémon is. Go, Axatooth. Before the referee made his announcement, the blonde youth opposite Zhang Xingyun called out his Pokémon. This was not against the rules, but throwing out the Pokémon first would be targeted. In the last game, the blonde youth encountered a trainer from a poor family, and he threw out Axatooth directly, knocking out the opponent's Pokémon in no time. That feeling made him feel very good. In this game, he looked at Zhang Xingyun's clothes and his dark face, because he often went hunting, and he shouted in his heart that it was stable. It was time to show off, so he couldn't wait to throw out Axatooth. In his eyes, dragon-type Pokémon are synonymous with expensive and powerful. Wouldn't it be easy to deal with Zhang Xingyun's Pokémon in front of him? He seemed to hear applause and cheers for him. Zhang Xingyun was a little confused at this time. Why is this guy little? An idea popped up in his mind. Is there such a good thing? Zhang Xingyun showed a cruel smile, looking at the bad boy with dyed blonde hair in front of him with a big surprise, and told him to be more low-key in the future. I'm dying of laughter, and he dares to be arrogant in front of Xingyun? This kid is here to make people laugh. Yi Crossing in the audience laughed, and Nangan Yeo beside him, and Emo Jiang Teo who had just finished the game also laughed. They all knew that Zhang Xingyun had a fairy-type flower petal. At the referee's announcement, Zhang Xingyun threw a Pokeball, and Flower Petal appeared on the field. The blonde boy on the opposite side was a little stunned for a moment. This, shouldn't it be a Pokémon like Pidgeot or Butterfree? Why is it Flower Petal? Chapter 142, Flowery Leaf vs. Axatooth Dragon. The information of Axatooth Dragon also appeared on the system interface. Name, Axatooth Dragon, male, attribute, dragon qualification, dark green characteristics, fighting spirit strength, late novice skills, grab, Stare, Dragon's Fury, Double Chop, Ghost Face, Dragon's Wave. It seems that the blonde boy on the opposite side has spent a lot of money on this axe-toothed dragon. He has some capital to be arrogant. If this axe-toothed dragon meets other elves, it will still be quite strong at the level of late novice. Unfortunately, he met Zhang Xingyun. The fatal thing is that Zhang Xingyun's elf is still the fairy type Huoyidi. By the way, Huoyidi is still female, and the characteristic of this axe-toothed dragon is still fighting spirit. With the announcement of the referee, the game began. Huoyidi, mist venue. Huoyidi released a light pink mist and diffused it. Axe-toothed dragon felt that he was in this mist, and his dragon energy was suppressed, which made him feel very uncomfortable. Axe-toothed dragon, run, approach Huoyidi, and use double slashes. Axe-toothed dragon immediately ran, and its 2 dragon claws glowed. Huoyidi, tie a grass knot. Huashishi green vines emerged from the ground and wrapped around axe-toothed dragon's legs. Axe-toothed dragon stopped running when it saw it and used its claws to split the vines on its legs. Zhang Xingyun did not miss the opportunity. When axe-toothed dragon was entangled, Huoyidi used fairy wind. Axe-toothed dragon used shadow clone quickly. The blonde boy on the opposite side was a bit arrogant, but he still had the ability to command. Several axe-toothed dragons appeared on the field. But this is what Zhang Xingyun likes to play the most. To outsiders, it is difficult to tell whether the shadow clone is real or fake, but Zhang Xingyun can't. Huoyidi, at 2 o'clock. Hua is the trainer of Axefang. The usual training habits and the tacit understanding between the two. The blonde boy naturally knew which figure was real. Axefang, run fast. He guessed right. Can you run away? Seeing Axefang running, Zhang Xingyun smiled. Huoyidi's fairy wind chased Axefang and dispersed. Axefang was hit, and the effect was superb. Then it was called over by Huoyidi's several fairy skills, and this Axefang was clearly arranged. Axefang also resisted. After a dragon's fury, Huoyidi was immune to the dragon's attack energy, except for being scratched by the flying stones. This dragon energy did not cause much damage. Dragon skills did not cause much damage to Huoyidi. He wanted to get close to Huoyidi and fight Huoyidi with his physical fitness. But he couldn't get close, so he was hit by Huoyidi's skills. Dragon type Pokémon are very powerful, but they are not invincible. Keep a low profile, Zhang Xingyun said during the friendly handshake after the battle. The blonde boy seemed to be hit. He shook hands in a daze, put away Axetooth, and left. It seems that this time he was hit hard. Hahaha, a dragon type Pokémon is so arrogant. Seeing his last look, I feel relieved. Xingyun did a great job. When Zhang Xingyun returned to his seat, Yi Crossing said. He probably defeated many trainers with this Axetooth. He has some skills. It's just that he met Florid. His dragon type skills didn't do much damage, and the others were kitted by Florid. If it was Squirtle, he might not be able to beat it. Axetooth is still very strong. It's just that the trainer was too arrogant and dared to release the Pokémon first. Zhang Xingyun explained. Although the dragon type is restrained by the fairy type, it doesn't mean that it will definitely not be able to beat the fairy type Pokémon. Just like before, if Huoyidi was approached by the Axefang dragon, relying on the physical fitness of the dragon system, using other system skills can also cause damage to Huoyidi. Now Zhang Xingyun has successfully advanced to the next round, and soon Nangang Yao and Yi Crossing also left the field. There is no doubt that both of them won. On the battlefield, Zhang Xingyun also saw He Jingwen using her skin and defeated the enemy and successfully advanced. Not only did he see He Jingwen, a classmate, but he also saw the opponents he met during the school league, such as Shen Duanfeng, Zuki and others. Their training abilities are all good, and they all successfully advanced. As expected of the top students of the Noble High School, their strength is still worthy of recognition. Zhang Xingyun took out his mobile phone and checked it. It was already past 11 in the morning, and he had another game, which was about 4 in the afternoon. Zhang Xingyun said goodbye to several classmates, and left the elf battle hall. After having lunch first, he went to the training store, opened a machine room, and made energy blocks. During this time, he spent a lot of money and merit points to exchange for the formula of the intermediate energy cubes of Pidgeot. Zhang Xingyun's production level has also improved. Today, he will try to make the energy cube of Huoed, the intermediate energy cube of Yuha. After all the materials are ready, Zhang Xingyun started to make it. In terms of making energy cubes, with the help of supernatural powers, and with Zhang Xingyun's own talent, he successfully made it. Now, everyone can eat intermediate energy cubes. There is no need to eat the universal intermediate energy cube of Yuanling. The energy value required by Nidorino has been accumulated a lot during this period. Zhang Xingyun estimates that when Nidorino breaks through the bottleneck of Elite, it will almost evolve. It is also possible to let Nidorino evolve now, but it is still a bit bad. In Zhang Xingyun's opinion, Nidorino can still be developed, such as the difficulty of improving qualifications. Now Nidorino is still in a lower state. After such a long period of training, Nidorino's aptitude has already shown some blue in the deep green. This is what Zhang Xingyun detected with the system. Hey, Huoyeti, eat this, it's just made. Zhang Xingyun threw a freshly made energy block to Huoyeti to eat. After Huoyeti ate it, he shouted happily, indicating that he liked this energy block very much. I'm glad you like it. Let's go. It's 3:30. We have to rush back to the battle hall. Huoyeti jumped onto Zhang Xingyun's shoulder and sat down. Zhang Xingyun opened the door, walked out, checked out, and rushed to the Pokémon battle hall. When Zhang Xingyun arrived at his original seat, he saw only Yi Crossing sitting there. Where are the others? Zhang Xingyun asked. Mo Jiangtao and the others went somewhere else. Nangang Yao went down to fight. She's there. Pa. There was another round of fierce applause. Zhang Xingyun looked over and saw that Nangang Yao had won the victory beautifully again. The applause was for her. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 Supergirl. After Nangang Yao won the battle, she walked back to her seat. Congratulations, you won another game. Zhang Xingyun said to Nangang Yao who came over. You don't want to lose either. Yeah. Zhang Xingyun looked at the time, and it was his turn. He walked off the field. The Pokémon in this battle was a late stage novice rumble. It had a light yellow aptitude, and did not have many skills. Zhang Xingyun sent out Squirtle and easily defeated the rumble and successfully advanced. But Yi Crossing was not so lucky. In the third game, he was defeated by a late stage novice peak gothic baby. Its trainer was the girl from number 1 middle school who noticed Zhang Xingyun during the league. This gothic baby was very powerful. He was very good at playing Shadow Ball. He could actually turn a Shadow Ball into 6 small ones and attack with the help of superpowers. The 6 small Shadow Balls attacked from different angles, making it very difficult to dodge, and the other attacks of this gothic baby were not weak either. I lost. Yi Crossing came to his seat and said with some regret. That girl's strength is not low. You didn't lose unfairly. Zhang Xingyun comforted. If you two meet her, be careful. I was stunned. A Shadow Ball can actually be divided into 6 to attack. Are all your ability users so perverted? Yi Crossing sighed to the two. Do you know this trick? Zhang Xingyun asked Nangang Yao. This is a special skill, right? You see, when she was commanding the goth baby just now, her body was emitting blue light. This should be the amplification of the goth baby, the same as your amplification. Nangang Yao said her discovery. Yes. I felt something was wrong just now. While fighting, the goth baby suddenly became stronger. This should be the amplification. Yi Crossing also interjected. Amplification? Zhang Xingyun thought for a moment and asked Nangang Yao, can you amplify? Yes, but mine is different from yours. I can only amplify my Curlier, not other elves. After that, many games were played, and Zhang Xingyun won them all. The time came to the third day, and it was the battle of 50 to 25. This time, his opponent was a Supergirl who defeated Yi Crossing. Come on, Xingyun, don't be finished. Yi Crossing said. There were also several classmates in the class, Gao Yuan, He Jingwen and others. Come on, Zhang Dalao. Gao Yuan cheered. Okay. He Jingwen, Zhao Xiaofeng and others all encountered strong opponents and were eliminated. Now, among their class 20, only Zhang Xingyun, Nangang Yao and Fang Hongjian entered the battle of 50 to 25. Zhang Xingyun walked onto the field and stared at the girl floating opposite. Hello, my name is Zhuang, and I'm glad to have a battle with you. Hello, Miss Zhu, I'm glad to have a battle with you, too. Let's have an all-out battle. Okay. The two communicated telepathically, so others couldn't hear them. When the referee said the game was about to start, both threw Pokeballs. Squirtle and Goth Baby appeared on the field at the same time. Zhang Xingyun also scanned the information of this Goth Baby. Name, Goth Baby, female. Attribute, psychic qualification, light blue characteristics, perception strength, late novice skills, slap, telekinesis, continuous slap, charging beam. Goth Baby, meditate. Squirtle, water wave. Squirtle condensed his hands and threw a water ball towards the Goth Baby who was meditating. Bang, where the Goth Baby was originally standing, a puddle was created by the water wave. The Goth Baby disappeared on the spot and appeared 10 meters away. It turned out that when the Goth Baby was meditating, Zhuang's body emitted a blue light. She teleported with Goth Baby through the air. In this reality, since the trainer and the Pokémon are one, this is not considered illegal. This superpower is not low, it can actually be like this. Zhuang's operation surprised Zhang Xingyun. Goth Baby, charge beam. Squirtle, shadow clone. Whoosh, a beam of electricity shot at Squirtle, shattering one of the Squirtle phantoms. Whoosh, another beam of electricity shot at Squirtle's real body. Jenny. Squirtle used a water wave to meet it, and then added a freezing ray. Goth Baby's charging beam was offset by Squirtle's water wave and freezing ray, and the freezing ray rushed towards Goth Baby. Goth Baby's eyes lit up, and Squirtle's freezing ray was turned and shot at Squirtle. Jenny. Squirtle was also startled and shot a water gun at it. At this time, Goth Baby condensed a shadow ball and threw it at Squirtle. Squirtle retracted into its shell and blocked it with its hard shell. Squirtle stretched out its head and found itself floating in the air. It was hit by Goth Baby's telekinesis and was controlled and suspended in the air. Don't panic, Squirtle. Turn around at high speed and break free. Squirtle retracted its head into its shell again and started to spin. It also successfully broke free from Goth Baby's telekinesis control. But without telekinesis, Squirtle, who was still in the air, fell down. Sizzle, Squirtle spit out a water gun towards the ground, offsetting the gravity when landing. Bang, a shadow ball hit Squirtle who had just landed. Squirtle was knocked into the air, but also turned around and threw a water wave. But Goth Baby avoided it. Squirtle was slightly injured and suffered a little loss in these rounds of testing. The commands of both of them were telepathic, and the people around could not hear them at all. Looking at the two people fighting, many viewers turned their eyes here. They could also guess that this was a battle between two people with special abilities, which was rare. Even several bigwigs on the stage turned their eyes here. Squirtle's training is very good. It really deserves to be a person with special abilities. Your Goth Baby is also very powerful. No more testing. I lose all my strength. Okay, me too. Zhang Xingyun made a mysterious gesture, and Squirtle's energy fluctuations instantly increased. As for Zhuang, her body was bright, and Goth Baby's momentum was also greatly improved. Seeing this scene, the audience cheered. Come on Squirtle. Goth Baby beat it. Superpower, forever God. The three great elves are the best. While cheering, they also cheered for the two elves. Chapter 144 Lava Guidance Superpower. Jenny song. After the amplification, Squirtle's energy fluctuations reach the ordinary early stage. Now Zhang Xingyun, after performing the spirit attachment, attached to Squirtle, the duration and amplification strength are much higher than Nidorino. Zhang Xingyun practices every day and receives some energy feedback from the Pokémons. His ability is comparable to that of an ordinary late Pokémon. Goth Baby, Shadow Ball. Squirtle also used the wave missile and fired it out. Squirtle, control the spin. Jenny. The wave missile knocked away a scattered shadow ball, and under Squirtle's control, it intercepted 3 small shadow balls in succession. Zhang Xingyun would not divide this wave missile into 6 and intercept this shadow ball, but relying on induction, he used the wave missile and intercepted 4 of the small shadow balls, and also fired this weakened wave missile. Attacked Goth Baby. At this moment, Squirtle was dodging the 2 shadow balls that were not intercepted. The Wava Guide's induction allowed Squirtle to avoid it, and it was easy to dodge 2 shadow balls. On the other side, Goth Baby used telekinesis to guide the wave projectile to another place. Puff! Squirtle sprayed a water gun at Goth Baby. Bang! A charging beam appeared above Squirtle and shot down Squirtle at Zhang Xingyun's reminder. Squirtle greeted it with a freezing beam. Boom! Dust flew, ice chips flashed with ox, and fell to the ground. Squirtle Squirtle, who was somewhat sensitive to the Wava Guide, clenched a fist with one hand and jumped up with a chill, waving it towards Goth Baby. Squirtle actually knows the freezing punch at this time. After seeing Squirtle's performance, Zhang Xingyun knew that Squirtle had mastered a skill at this time, freezing punch. Goth Baby was teleported and avoided Squirtle's attack. Squirtle had expected this and quickly condensed a wave missile and threw it out. It hit the newly appeared Goth Baby. Goth Baby, charge beam. Whoosh, a charge beam shot out, and when it approached Squirtle, it split into 4 and shot down at Squirtle. Squirtle could only shrink its shell to defend and resist this skill. After the charge beam ended, Goth Baby attacked with a shadow ball that split into 6. Squirtle could only use wave missiles to welcome the guest, but it was still hit by 2 shadow balls, and its wave missiles could not hit Goth Baby. Squirtle broke free from Goth Baby's telekinesis again, and bang, another shadow ball. Squirtle could only shrink into its shell and defend. Xingyun seems to be at a disadvantage. Chen Yu said in the stands. This girl's superpower is very strong. Nangang Yeo said. How strong? Song Weizhou asked. Late stage normal. Isn't this a normal Pokémon fighting a novice Pokémon? Song Weizhou said in surprise. It's not against the rules if the Pokémon is still in the novice stage. Besides, who says she is a power user? Chen Yu said. Chen Yu was eliminated in the 6th battle. Power users are special and rare, and people like Zhang Xingyun and Zhu Ying are not against the rules. I guess the government is a bit biased towards power users while ensuring fairness. After all, there are few power users, and there are many places where they need to be used. Power users include dragon riding power, superpower, etc. Squirtle, can you try 2 wave missiles? Jenny? Try it. You control 2 wave missiles, surround them, and intercept the incoming charging beams or shadow balls. Jenny Goth Baby fired another wave of shadow balls. This time, Squirtle controlled 2 wave missiles and intercepted them. Well done, Squirtle. By the way, try to fuse these 2 residual energy wave missiles together and launch them. Wave Guide is indeed a natural ability of Squirtle. With intentional training and Squirtle's superb talent, he will be able to do it if he tries. Goth Baby appeared in front of Squirtle and looked into his eyes. This is the skill, Illusion Light. Wake up, Squirtle. Squirtle quickly came to his senses, but was hit by a full-strength shadow ball from Goth Baby in front of him. He was blown away. At this time, Zhang Xingyun was feeling the space around Squirtle. Since Zhu Ying can help Goth Baby teleport, it makes no sense that Zhang Xingyun can't. Zhang Xingyun had never tried it before, and now he is just sharpening his gun before the battle. Squirtle. After Squirtle broke free from Goth Baby's telekinesis, he intercepted another charging beam. Then he fused the 2 residual wave missiles he controlled together and shot them at Goth Baby. Goth Baby was teleported away from the original place again. Zhang Xingyun's eyes glowed. He sensed the space around Squirtle and told Squirtle his plan. He tried it after seeing Zhu Ying help Goth Baby teleport. Now he is sure of it. After Goth Baby appeared, Squirtle disappeared and appeared in front of Goth Baby. Squirtle laughed. Now he can also use Zhang Xingyun's teleportation. He doesn't need to be beaten anymore and can fight back against Goth Baby. Bang, a wave of water wave knocked Goth Baby away. Squirtle added another freezing ray. Unfortunately, Goth Baby was teleported away again. Squirtle appeared in front of Goth Baby again, and a wave missile was called up. Bang, this time it was Goth Baby that was blown away. After performing teleportation continuously, Zhang Xingyun and Zhuang did not use it again. Song 6 Shadow Balls attacked, but were intercepted by Squirtle again, and then 2 wave missiles were fused together and thrown away. It was fixed by Goth Baby. Squirtle fired another water gun. This time, Goth Baby was not removed, and was hit by Squirtle's water gun head on. When Squirtle saw the water gun hitting him, he condensed 2 wave missiles, and merged them together. He disappeared from the spot, and the next moment, he appeared in front of Goth Baby, and confronted him head on. Bang, Goth Baby flew out from the flying smoke. He lay on the ground, and lost his ability to fight. Goth Baby lost his ability to fight. Squirtle won, and the winner is Zhang Xingyun. Clap, clap. The applause was thunderous, and some excited audiences stood up and cheered. Squirtle is awesome. Squirtle, yides. Wave Turtle. You are a powerful ability user and a great trainer. It's an honor to fight with you. You too. I'm happy to fight with you too. After the two shook hands in a friendly manner as usual, Zhang Xingyun walked off the field. Chapter 145. Battle for Promotion. After Zhang Xingyun returned to his seat, several classmates cheered for him. Awesome, Xingyun. Even Zhuang, the most famous girl in number 1 middle school, was defeated by you. Awesome plus. Yi Crossing said with a thumbs up. She is indeed very powerful, and has a high level of psychic attainments. If I hadn't adjusted in time later, I would not have been able to beat her. Psychic type spirits are too difficult to deal with, Zhang Xingyun said to everyone, after taking a sip of water. Yes, psychic type spirits and dragon type ghosts are all very powerful elves. Fang Hongjian nodded and agreed. Didn't you notice that I was at a disadvantage from the beginning? I suffered a small loss after several attempts. Nangang Yeo stood up and said, okay, it's my turn. Bless me, everyone. Come on, you will win, come on. Classmate, win. Several classmates gave their blessings. Nangang Yeo only has a mini dragon. If she doesn't encounter a particularly restrained elf, it shouldn't be a big problem. Those who were ranked 25th out of 50 were all very powerful, at least among the younger generation in Changning. Their combat performance was also noticed, and those who wanted to win the championship would study the tactics of restraint. Nangang Yeo was lucky enough to meet a Growlithe. Nangang Yeo bred another Growlithe, and was well aware of Growlithe's shortcomings and deficiencies. In addition, Dratini had many water-based skills, which were very effective in restraining Growlithe. So after fighting for a while, Nangang Yeo successfully defeated her opponent and successfully advanced. Hahaha, I'm lucky enough to meet Growlithe. After Nangang Yeo came to her seat, she was obviously in a good mood after being promoted. Several classmates also congratulated him. Later, Fang Hongjian came on the court and successfully advanced. After fighting for a while, 3 people from number 9 middle school entered the 25th this year, which is a very good ratio. You know, there are many high schools in Changning, and there are some trainers who are not students. These non-student trainers refer to those who have not studied elves in high school. Influenced by the advent of elves, high school tuition is very high, and aristocratic schools are even more expensive. Many families cannot afford to train them, and these teenagers are unwilling to be ordinary. Some of them bought a set of simple equipment, and went out to catch elves. Some saved money to buy a cheap elf, and embarked on the road of trainers. Among them, there are also many trainers with high talents and talents. The elves they train are no worse than those trained by students in schools. It's just that there are very few such people. Ding. On the big screen in the elf battle hall, 25 avatars are matched by the intelligence system. This time, one person will miss and go directly to the next round. Those who can be selected prove that they are very lucky, but luck is also a kind of strength. Soon, the matching results came out. Zhang Xingyun's opponent was a girl with a pretty face. Zhang Xingyun remembered that her elf was a cat with a tail. But Nangang Yeo was a buy and advanced directly. Hahaha, my luck is really good today. I got a buy. Nangang Yeo said with a smile. After seeing the matching results, everyone was happy for her. After entering the top 100, there will be rewards. It's just a matter of more or less. The higher the ranking, the richer the reward. Fang Hongjian's face was a little ugly. The Pokémon of the trainer he matched was a tropical dragon. In the previous few battles, the performance of this tropical dragon was very eye-catching. Soon it was Zhang Xingyun's turn to play. With the help of Zhang Xingyun's teleportation, Squirtle attacked Katam closely and started with a set of attacks. Water waves, freezing rays, wave missiles and so on were all called up. There was no mercy, just because Katam was cute. Katam's trainer also fought back, but it didn't work. Zhang Xingyun wanted to make a quick decision, and he reached the ordinary realm after possessing the spirit. Bang bang bang, Katam was knocked out of the smoke by Squirtle, lying on the ground, and losing his ability to fight. This cat was well bred and its trainer was also qualified. Unfortunately, it ran into Zhang Xingyun, who directly used his ability to bless Squirtle and attacked it. After seeing that the cat lost its ability to fight, the girl's eyes turned red, which made Zhang Xingyun a little embarrassed. After a friendly handshake, Zhang Xingyun returned to his seat to watch the game. You are worthy of being Zhang Daleo. You beat the girl to tears. The cat is so cute, and you can do it. You are worthy of being Zhang Daleo. Facing the jokes of several classmates, Zhang Xingyun smiled and did not refute. In fact, they all know that there is no distinction between men and women on the battlefield. Standing on the battlefield, there is only one identity, that is, the trainer. I just wanted to make a joke. There are many cute elves in the wild. Their hearts are not as cute as their appearance. Who says that cute elves will not kill people? Look, Hongjian is in trouble now. Fang Hongjian's novice Pokémon is a Kung Fu Weasel, a fighting Pokémon. The fighting type is restrained by the grass and flying type of tropical dragon. Facing this flying tropical dragon, he was beaten back step by step. Tropical dragon, although its name has the word dragon, is not a real dragon Pokémon. At this moment, tropical dragon was in mid-air, shooting seed machine guns at Kung Fu Weasel, shooting randomly. And Fang Hongjian's Kung Fu Weasel could only dodge in embarrassment. This Kung Fu Weasel's waveguide talent has not been developed yet, and it does not know the skill of waveguide missile. Other skills can't hit tropical dragon, and it has been kitted all the time. It's only a matter of time before it loses. As expected, the Kung Fu Weasel on the field lost its combat ability under the attacks of tropical dragon one after another. Fang Hongjian failed again, and was eliminated in the 25-12. Soon, Fang Hongjian returned to his seat. Everyone comforted him. Haha, it's nothing, just not strong enough. Fang Hongjian quickly calmed down. He was able to reach this point, which was a good result. He could not blame anyone for being defeated, because of lack of strength. Xingyun, Nangang, you two should work hard. You two have a chance to win the championship. Haha, I'll try my best. Zhang Xingyun patted Fang Hongjian on the shoulder and said. Nangang Yao also nodded. After a while, this round of battle ended, and the top 13 came out. The battle matching is in progress. Several people are watching the avatar matching on the big screen. Darn, the matching results are out. This time, Zhang Xingyun and Nangang Yao did not have a bye. Chapter 146, Battle against the Tropical Dragon. Haha, now you can help me get revenge, Xingyun. Fang Hongjian said with a smile. This tropical dragon is not weak. I will try my best. Look, the boss is so modest. Zhao Xiaofeng said with a smile. In the arena, things change rapidly, and it's not that you can win just because you have the ability. It's better to be cautious. Zhang Xingyun said he would never say too much about things unless he was absolutely sure. Which rookie trainer who can get to this point will have an easy time. At the beginning, it can be said that it was due to luck, but at this point, it is not luck. Anyway, Xingyun, you have to work hard. Yes, Zhang, you have to work hard. Win the championship. Nangang classmate, you too. Mini Dratini, dragon type race high. In this rookie cup, including Nangang Yao's Mini Dratini, a total of 4 quasi-god Pokémon appeared. But here, only Nangang Yao's Mini Dratini and a boy's baby dragon were left, and they entered the top 13. Come on, I hope to see you in the finals. Zhang Xingyun said. Well, I also hope to meet you in the finals. Don't be eliminated halfway. Nangangyeo replied. After exchanging fists, Zhang Xingyun walked down. It was his turn. Now it was a two-person match, and there were not many trainers left. In addition, those who could reach this stage were all elite trainers, so they were allowed to fight in one arena. When they walked onto the battlefield, the audience in the stands cheered. Zhang Xingyun was the player with the highest chance of winning. At the referee's announcement, Zhang Xingyun threw out Squirtle, and the opponent threw out Dragonite. In fact, Dragonite was born in its final form, so it still had a big advantage in the early stage. But Dragonite also had its shortcomings, which was that it was restrained by 4 times the ice type. Fire, rock, flying, and poison were restrained twice, and there were still many Pokémon attributes that restrained it. But overall, Dragonite was still a very good Pokémon. It could be used as a flying Pokémon, and the fruit on its neck could be used for food. Dragonite, take off quickly, use Leaf Blade. Squirtle, Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam and Leaf Blade met and cancelled each other out. The trainer of Tropical Dragon looked at Zhang Xingyun with a serious expression. He had also paid attention to Zhang Xingyun and knew that Zhang Xingyun was a person with special abilities. He could amplify and help Squirtle to teleport and perform space attacks. The trouble was that this Squirtle was also very good and had mastered many ice-type skills, which was bad news for his Tropical Dragon. After that, the two Pokémon started to fight each other. Squirtle on the ground was still at a disadvantage, especially since Squirtle's movement speed was not fast enough. Bang! Squirtle's Freezing Beam and Tropical Dragon's Solar Beam fought against each other. After the fight, Squirtle disappeared from the spot, and Tropical Dragon flapped its wings and flew quickly. Squirtle appeared in the air, and a blizzard hit the flying Tropical Dragon. But it couldn't attack, and Tropical Dragon accelerated with a swallow return, and avoided Squirtle's blizzard. And Squirtle also fell from the air. At this time, Tropical Dragon also condensed an energy ball, and threw it over Jenny. Squirtle fired a water gun at the energy ball. He stopped the water gun attack, and retracted into his shell, because he was on the ground. Bang! The energy ball also attacked Squirtle, who was retracting into his shell. This attack made Zhang Xingyun realize that, if he wanted to win, he had to solve the speed problem of Tropical Dragon. Squirtle, Wave Missile. Jenny. Squirtle condensed a Wave Missile and fired it. Tropical Dragon, Air Slash. Squirtle, 2 Wave Missiles in different directions. Jenny. Squirtle can currently control 2 Wave Missiles to attack. Tropical Dragon, Leaf Storm. There were green leaves floating around Tropical Dragon, floating to one side of the Wave Missile, and then it flew up, followed by a Wave Missile, and then a Leaf Storm, intercepted the last Wave Missile. Jenny. Squirtle appeared not far from Tropical Dragon and shot a freezing ray at it. Tropical Dragon also hit back. Bang, bang, bang. The two Pokémon started to compete. Swoosh. Suddenly, Tropical Dragon's wings were hit by the freezing ray. Trouble. Tropical Dragon Yanfan, get close to Squirtle, use Steel Wings, and try your best. There were some ice chips on Tropical Dragon's wings, and it turned around and dived towards the falling Squirtle. Squirtle used the freezing ray to meet it, but Tropical Dragon dodged it and got closer to Squirtle. Zhang Xingyun used Teleport again to make Squirtle appear in another place. Tropical Dragon missed and turned back to shoot a Seed Machine Gun. Squirtle condensed 2 Wave Missiles and met it. Bang! The two skills met, and a large cloud of smoke came out, and Squirtle was in the smoke. Tropical Dragon Charge. Tropical Dragon's trainer saw the ice chips on Tropical Dragon's wings, and attacked more aggressively. This was not wrong, because Tropical Dragon's speed had been affected, and it could only find an opportunity to carry out close combat attacks. Tropical Dragon rushed into the smoke and fought with Squirtle in close combat. Bang, bang, bang. The two Pokémons fought in the smoke. Squirtle was knocked out. Ouch, but Tropical Dragon was not much better. There were more ice chips on its body, and there were several shapes that looked like fist marks. Squirtle. Ouch. The two Pokémons looked at each other, and there were many scars on Squirtle's shell. Squirtle disappeared again and appeared on Tropical Dragon's head, bombarding it with a wave of missiles. Ouch. Tropical Dragon let out a cry of pain, but also took the opportunity to send out Leaf Blade to attack Squirtle. Leaf Blade is a grass type skill, and it is still very effective against Squirtle. Squirtle, come again. Bang, bang, bang. Squirtle bombarded Tropical Dragon several times in a row before defeating it. This Tropical Dragon is still very strong. When it bursts out with all its strength, it can be compared to some ordinary early Pokémon. After Squirtle paid some price, it successfully defeated Tropical Dragon. Clap, clap, clap. When the referee announced the victory, applause broke out again. Great, great, you've advanced again. Into the top 10. After Zhang Xingyun returned to his seat, his classmates congratulated him. Hey, Xingyun, did you send Squirtle for treatment? Yes. For this kind of competition, there are special medical staff who can heal the trainer's Pokémon in a short time, so that they can fight again. At the beginning, it was very busy when there were a lot of people, but now it's not so busy. Chapter 147, Rewards for the Rookie Cup Champion. Wish me good luck. Nangang came out. Come on, see you in the finals. Zhang Xingyun said to Nangang who walked over. Okay. Several classmates cheered her on. The Pokémon fighting against Nangang was a Cassie. Fortunately, Cassie's trainer was not a power user and could not enhance Cassie. Nangang herself was a power user, and the orders she issued were telepathic, so outsiders did not know what the instructions were. After fighting for a while, Cassie was still defeated by Nangang and Nangang also successfully advanced to the 12-6. Including the person who was given a bye before. There are a total of 7 people. After this round of trainers battles. Ding ding ding, the big screen of the Pokémon Battle Hall sounded. It was the host who was talking about the arrangements for the failed trainer in the 12-6. There was an intelligence system that randomly selected and ranked them. Then one person was randomly selected, and together with the 7 people, a total of 8 people, they fought. The trainer of Tropical Dragon was good. When the intelligence system randomly drew, he was ranked 8th, and he had another chance to fight. That guy's lucky, Yi Crossing said with emotion. Yeah, this Tropical Dragon is already very strong, and now there is this opportunity again. It's hard to say. Fang Hanjian said. Hahaha, I hope I don't match Xingyun again. If I match Xingyun, I will laugh to death. Song Weishao said. Look at the matching results. Everyone looked at the screen and saw the matching information of the two. Nangang vs Guanling Zhang Xingyun vs Booping hahaha. This unlucky child. How come he met Xingyun again? It seems that his luck ran out after the ranking. Song Weishao was overjoyed and laughed with his belly. Everyone laughed. Zhang Xingyun was also stunned. He didn't expect that the person he matched was actually the opponent he defeated. But he couldn't take it lightly and had to go all out. After a while, Zhang Xingyun got up and walked off the field. Standing on the battlefield. I was very lucky to continue the game, but I didn't expect to meet you again. Booping said a little depressed. I was quite surprised too. Zhang Xingyun touched his nose and took out a Pokeball. But I won't give up easily. With the previous battle with you, I may not lose. Booping also took out a Pokeball. After the referee's announcement, they both threw it out. Dragonite and Squirtle both appeared on the battlefield. Wu Dragonite roared at Squirtle, not flinching because of the previous defeat. Squirtle also roared back. Hahaha, a trainer needs this kind of spirit. Even if you fail, you must have the courage to fight it again. This Dragonite and the trainer are both very good. Ling Feng at the table exclaimed. Indeed. Zhao Yuanqian, the president of the Psychic Association next to Ling Feng, nodded in agreement. Hahaha, I didn't expect that Master Zhao would be willing to use that mysterious stone as a reward. Ling Feng said to Zhao Yuanqian. Well, since none of us in the association could figure it out, we decided to just contribute it and let the champion of the Rookie Cup have it. It's not a waste. Hahaha, you see, there's a high probability that Zhang Xiaoyao will win the championship. If he wins, then this thing will fall into the hands of someone in our association, which is not a loss. Zhao Yuanqian stroked his white beard and said with a smile, I hope these energetic rookie trainers can make more contributions to the country. It hasn't been peaceful in recent years. Ling Feng sighed, not knowing what he was thinking. Yeah, that's right. I also took this thing out for this reason. I hope it can have unexpected effects. The big guys on the stage were chatting, and the battle on the battlefield was almost over. Booping and Zhang Xingyun fought again. In this battle, they made many changes to deal with Squirtle. But Zhang Xingyun would also change the battle strategy to fight. Now Tropical Dragon was half squatting on the ground, in a very bad state, but still persisting. Squirtle, use your most powerful wave missile to finish off this respectable opponent. Squirtle, seeing that Booping had no intention of admitting defeat, Zhang Xingyun let Squirtle defeat Dragonite. Some trainers, when they think they can't beat the opponent, will admit defeat to save the Pokémon from suffering. But there are also trainers who are willing to be defeated painfully and are unwilling to admit defeat. There is no right or wrong between these two types. It can only be said that they have different pursuits and different training concepts. And Booping is the second type. Woo Squirtle's most powerful wave missile hit Dragonite, and Dragonite also lay on the ground and lost its ability to fight. Dragonite has lost its ability to fight. Squirtle wins, and the winner this time is Zhang Xingyun. Booping put Dragonite back into the Pokeball amid applause, sighed, and shook hands with Zhang Xingyun in a friendly manner. I didn't expect that. I still can't beat you. Not only are you improving, but Squirtle and I are also improving. Well, you are an excellent trainer. It's a pleasure to fight you again. Me too. After that, the two walked off the battlefield amid loud applause. After Zhang Xingyun returned to his seat, he took a sip of his drink and chatted with his classmates. Now he has made it to the top 4, one step closer to the championship. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Today we will know who will be the champion of Changning's Rookie Cup. I went. This ghost doll is still very powerful. Come on, classmate. Zhang Xingyun could only say come on dryly. With the cheers of his classmates, Nangang Yeo stepped onto the battlefield. The battle began. Dratini vs Ghost Doll. In terms of attributes, there is no restraint. Dratini and Ghost Doll went back and forth, with skills flying everywhere. For a while, the fight was indistinguishable. If we talk about the ranking of difficult Pokémon, then the Ghost type Pokémon will definitely be ranked high. In the battle between the mini Dratini and the Shadow Doll, Nangang Yeo was slightly better, won the victory, and successfully advanced. Nangang Yeo is a person with special abilities, and her training quality is not low. With the help of superpowers, she defeated the Shadow Doll. After Nangang Yeo returned to her seat, the classmates in the class were excited. In this way, 2 people in their class entered the top 4. Congratulations on your successful advancement. Zhang Xingyun congratulated. Yeah, congratulations to you too. Do you think we will meet in the next round? Zhang Xingyun said with a smile. It's possible. Look, the matching has started again. Yi Crossing reminded. Ding ding dong. The matching result came out. Why is it like this? The classmates were a little uncomfortable. The matching result was Zhang Xingyun vs Nangang Yeo. In this way, no matter who wins or loses, one of them will stop here. Chapter 148 Squirtle vs Dratini. I didn't expect to be up against you so soon. Zhang Xingyun said helplessly. Yeah, I didn't expect to be up against you so soon. Then, go all out. I won't show mercy, just because you're my deskmate. Nangang Yeo said with a pretty smile. Okay, that's what I mean. Then both of you should do your best. I don't know who to support all of a sudden. Chen Yu said. That's right, what's going on? It would be great if we were in this round. At least the champion would be our number 9 middle school. Yi Crossing also said on the side. Okay, it's our turn. Let's go. Zhang Xingyun said. Next, it's Zhang Xingyun vs Nangang Yeo. Please enter the field and get ready. The referee said. At this time, Zhang Xingyun and Nangang Yeo also stood up to face each other. In the audience, Principal Li Yuning and several teachers were also watching. I didn't expect that this year, 2 students from our Changning number 9 middle school actually made it into the top 4. Ha ha ha. Principal Li Yuning said with a smile. Seeing that 2 students from his school could enter the top 4, as the principal, he was also very happy. These 2 students are both capable people, and the next battle will definitely be exciting. Teacher Wang Yu also said beside him. Not only the teaching team of number 9 middle school will come to watch, but also students from other schools will come to watch. In this way, they can see the performance of students from their own school, and they can also meet trainers who performed well in the competition and did not go to school due to family reasons. They can recruit them to the school with favorable conditions, which will increase the source of students. After the advent of the elves, when selecting students, in addition to students who follow the rules, there is also this way to recruit students. As long as the trainer's talent is good enough, the biggest problem will be gone. With some energy feedback from the elves, all aspects of the body will be enhanced to a certain extent. Learning cultural knowledge is not very difficult. Zhang Xingyun and Nangang on the field both threw out the Pokeball, and Squirtle and Dratini both appeared on the battlefield. Squirtle me as soon as Squirtle came out and saw the Dratini, he became excited. He shouted at the Dratini, "It seems that you, Squirtle, are still upset about being defeated by Dratini last time." Nangang chuckled after seeing Squirtle's performance. Squirtle is quite arrogant. In order to defeat your Dratini, it has practiced its dragon slaying skills a lot during this period of time. Then I'll wait and see. The two started fighting. After they finished talking, Zhang Xingyun directly attached spirit to Squirtle and amplified it. Squirtle, your ability is indeed a bit special. Unlike me who can only amplify my Curlier, but I'm not bad at training Dratini. Dratty, Dragon Dance. Dratini swung strange movements and used the skill of Dragon Dance. Squirtle, Blizzard. Squirtle immediately used Blizzard and blew it towards Dratini who was dancing the Dragon Dance. Dratini also avoided Squirtle's Blizzard while dancing the Dragon Dance. It seems that this Dratini has also been specially trained and can dodge the opponent's attack when performing Dragon Dance. Then, Squirtle Wave Missile. Zhang Xingyun saw Dratini dodge the Blizzard, so he asked Squirtle to change his moves. Squirtle condensed a wave missile and fired it. Dratini, Dragon Tail. Bang, the wave missile fired by Squirtle was just knocked away by Dratini. Dratini, it's our turn. Dragon Wave. Mere dragon-shaped energy body rushed towards Squirtle. Squirtle Water Wave. Whoosh, the two waves met in midair and cancelled each other out. After Dragon Dance, the energy wave on Dratini's body was a little bit worse than Squirtle's, but not much. Dragon Wave is Dratini's original skill, and it also has some amplification. The two wave type skills collided and cancelled each other out. In fact, it would be best to let Oed fight this Dratini, but Zhang Xingyun considered Squirtle's mood and let Squirtle come out. As for whether he would fail, Zhang Xingyun didn't care much. If he lost, he would be in the top 4 and would get a reward. In such a public place, letting Squirtle defeat his previous opponents can increase Squirtle's confidence and make Squirtle more motivated to train. Squirtle, get ready, let's do a space attack. Jenny. Nangang looked at Zhang Xingyun and knew that Zhang Xingyun wanted to help Squirtle achieve teleportation and perform a space attack, but her mouth corners slightly raised and her eyes were also glowing blue. Jenny Squirtle looked at Zhang Xingyun in confusion and asked why he couldn't teleport. Zhang Xingyun was a little confused. The teleportation just now was inexplicably interfered with, causing Squirtle to be unable to teleport. Seeing Nangang Yao's eyes glowing, he understood in his heart. It's your fault. He asked Nangang Yao through telepathy. Yes, this is also one of the uses of the ability, but you just don't understand it. I can't teleport to Dratini, but I can interfere with your teleportation. Just because Zuang from number 1 middle school can't do it doesn't mean I can't. Zhang Xingyun once again felt that he didn't know much about the ability users. Although he was gifted in the ability, he was not as knowledgeable and understanding as Nangang Yao in this area. Zhang Xingyun also understood that this was normal. Nangang Yao's family background must be good, and there must be no lack of famous teachers to guide her. Hey, Xingyun's teleportation doesn't seem to work. Chen Yu and others in the stands also noticed this scene. Well, this should be because of classmate Nangang. Fang Hongjian analyzed. Hahaha, this is going to be interesting. The battle between two ability users. Xingyun's teleportation was interfered, and one of the means to win was lost. It's going to be difficult. Yi Crossing continued. Not necessarily. Everyone can see the strength of classmate Xingyun. His trainer strength is not low, so he may not lose. Fang Hongjian said on the side. Hey, who do you think has a better chance of winning? I'll go first. I think Nangang has a better chance of winning. Song Weishao said after the two finished speaking. I think it's Xingyun. I think it's Nangang. Yeah, I think it's Nangang too. Well, I think it's Xingyun. While the students in the stands were discussing, the two Pokémons on the battlefield also started to fight. Dratini's eyes were red, and the energy fluctuations on his body were a little stronger than Squirtle. At this moment, the two Pokémons were fighting in close combat. Squirtle's freezing punch and Dratini's dragon tail attacked each other. Chapter 149, Defeat Dratini. Nangang Yao's Dratini used the reverse scale at this moment, which enhanced his strength, but he did not lose his mind, and was still under Nangang Yao's command. Your Squirtle has an amplification, but my Dratini may also have one. Nangang Yao said with some pride. Awesome, awesome. Zhang Xingyun praised. This is really amazing. The side effects of the reverse scale move on this Dratini were actually reduced a lot. At least now that Dratini is still listening to Nangang Yao's command. Bang, bang, bang. It was the collision of the wave missile and the dragon's fury. Squirtle retreated a few steps, but the Dratini came close and entangled Squirtle to fight. Dratini used electromagnetic waves, but Squirtle retracted into the shell and used high-speed rotation. While defending, it also knocked Dratini away and kept some distance. Squirtle threw out water waves and intercepted Dratini's high-speed stars. Dratini took the opportunity to get close again, and Squirtle could only fight back with freezing rays. At this moment, the two Pokémons are fighting, and Squirtle is a little bit worse, but not by much. Zhang Xingyun is just waiting for the effect of Dratini's reverse scale to pass, then it's time to launch a counter-attack. The problem now is that Squirtle has to withstand Dratini's attack. Master Zhao, you see, there are two people with special abilities fighting now. Guess who has a higher chance of winning? Ling Feng looked at the battle between Squirtle and Dratini on the field and asked casually. I'm more optimistic about Squirtle, and I guess you are too. Zhao Yuanqian said. Hahaha, yes, I'm more optimistic about Squirtle, and Dratini is also very good, but the reverse scale state is over, which is not necessarily the case. Director Deng, what do you think? Ling Feng turned around and asked Director Deng of the Education Bureau. Well, I also prefer Squirtle. The pot-bellied Director Deng also said Squirtle. Hahaha, I'm optimistic about Dratini. The president of the breeding association said. Several big men spoke up one after another and commented on the two. The battle between Zhang Xingyun and Nangang Yao. In the eyes of these quasi-king and king level masters, some details of the battle are still not very good. The battle between Squirtle and Dratini is still going on. But this time it was Squirtle chasing Dratini. Dratini's reverse scale was about to pass, and the frequency and strength of the attack were weakened. This was naturally noticed by Zhang Xingyun, so Squirtle launched a counter-attack. Squirtle used a freezing punch to force Dratini back, and then a blizzard blew over. Dratini was a little short of strength, and was attacked by some blizzards while dodging. The speed slowed down. Now it's my turn. Zhang Xingyun faced Nangang Yao. Although the spirit possession technique for Squirtle was also coming to an end, Dratini was in a worse state. When fighting with Squirtle just now, Dratini was also injured, but under the effect of the reverse scale, it was not affected much, and continued to attack. At this time, the effect of the reverse scale was over, and the load on the body just now was also revealed. Nangang Yao saw this, but did not give up, and still commanded the mini dragon to fight back. Although Zhang Xingyun now has the upper hand, he still has to be careful. There are many people who have failed in this situation. Nangang Yao frowned for some reason. Hahaha, after trying so many times, I can finally teleport when you interfere. Zhang Xingyun said. After his teleportation was interfered with, Zhang Xingyun tried to crack it, and then found that when Squirtle was moving, there was an energy in the nearby space that was interfering. If Zhang Xingyun used the energy at this time, he did not need to clear it all, just break it in one direction. It seems that you have a strong talent in space. Nangang Yao had no way to deal with this. At the beginning, he interfered with Zhang Xingyun's teleportation on Squirtle, but now Zhang Xingyun has figured out how her ability interferes. but the distance of teleportation is not very far, only 5 or 6 meters away. But this is enough for Zhang Xingyun. Squirtle appeared 5 meters away, and a freezing ray shot over. Taking this opportunity, he teleported and got closer to the mini dragon. Squirtle appeared above Dratini's head, punching Dratini with cold air on his fist. Dratini quickly fought back with his dragon tail, but the expected collision did not come. Dratini, left. Squirtle appeared on Dratini's left this time, waving his frost punch and rushing over. Dratini was hit right in the middle. After hearing Nanganyeo's cry, Dratini also twitched his tail to come back to help, but Squirtle was too fast. Taking this opportunity, Squirtle quickly added a blizzard. Dratini also fought back with Dragon's Fury, but this time he couldn't stop it, and was attacked by the blizzard again. Squirtle appeared next to Dratini again, waving his frost punch and attacking again, this time attacking Dratini's head. Dratini was knocked out, and Squirtle connected with a water gun at this time. Bang! Dratini fell to the ground, losing his ability to fight. Dratini lost his ability to fight. Squirtle won. Zhang Xingyun won. The referee announced. Squirtle after defeating the opponent who had defeated it before. Squirtle instantly felt that the training during this period was worth it. It decided to train hard in the future, to defeat more opponents, and to get more applause like now. Amid the applause, Zhang Xingyun shook hands with Nanganyeo. I didn't expect to lose in space. Your spatial talent is really strong. Nanganyeo said with some regret. Well, I won this victory. Zhang Xingyun replied. Come on, classmate, win the championship. Okay. Papa. With the applause of the audience, the two returned to their seats. Hahaha, I said that the winner is Xingyun, and I guessed it right. Okay, give me the money. Fang Hanjian took out his mobile phone, got a payment code, and scanned it for Yi Crossing and others. Wow, Hanjian, you actually did this. Is there a share for me? After seeing what Fang Hanjian did, Zhang Xingyun said jokingly. Hahaha, let's go out to eat together tonight. Just treat this money as meal money. Fang Hanjian said with a smile. Nanganyeo was talking to Chen Yu and others at this time. What a pity. I want a better spatial talent. This time the victory would be mine. Nanganyeo said regretfully. Nangang, this talent problem, there is no way to say it. If you lose, you lose. Train hard and defeat him next time. Chen Yu comforted. Yes. Several girls comforted. While they were chatting, another battle ended. The winner was a training player named Zhang Xingyun, whose spirit was Scyther. Using the advantage of Scyther's speed, he wore down the opponent's treasure dragon and successfully advanced. Chapter 150, Battle against Scyther. Not easy. Zhang Xingyun muttered as he looked at the Scyther on the field. The double blades of the Scyther looked very sharp, and there were many scars on its body, which all showed the fighting power of this Scyther. Ding dong, there are still 30 minutes before the finals. Please get ready, both players. At this time, a voice was broadcast on the radio. It was the finals, and this time 30 minutes was given to give the last two trainers a rest, which should also allow Zhang Xingyun and the other two trainers to perform better at that time. Hey Xingyun, are you going to send your Squirtle or Flowery Petal to play? This Scyther looks very powerful. Song Weishao said. Nonsense, how did it enter the finals if it wasn't powerful? Zhao Xiaofeng complained. It's a pity, Xingyun, you don't have a rock type Pokémon, otherwise it would be easier to fight. Yi Crossing said. Well, that's true. Zhang Xingyun also nodded. The key is that he has it, and young Kiris is a rock type Pokémon. The question now is whether to let it play. Is it worth letting young Kiris play, or should we let the young Kiris come out to fight? After being subdued by Zhang Xingyun, the young Kiris only fought against some wild Pokémon in the wild. Zhang Xingyun was hesitating. Please come to the field and prepare, the game is about to begin. Soon, the 30-minute break was up, and Zhang Xingyun stood up and walked down. We must win. Come on, Boss Zhang, win first place, and bring honor to our number 9 middle school. You are the only hope of number 9 middle school. Alijet, come on. Zhang Xingyun waved his hand, and walked onto the battlefield. Hello, Zhang Xingyun. Hello, Zhang Xingyun. The two simply said their names, and summoned the Pokémon without waiting for the referee to announce. Jenny Hassan. After thinking it over again and again, Zhang Xingyun decided to let Squirtle play and forget about the young Kyrus. First, he was afraid of being remembered, and second, he had not registered with the official. Squirtle and Scyther looked at each other as soon as they appeared on the field. Both Pokémon knew that this round was very important to their trainers. They only had this one chance. If they could win, they would be able to bring a lot of benefits to their trainers. So they had to defeat the opponent in front of them, not only for themselves, but also for their trainers. The referee shouted the start of the game as usual. Squirtle appeared in front of Squirtle in an instant, very fast, with sharp sickle-like double blades, shining with cold light, slashing at Squirtle. Squirtle subconsciously hid in its shell. Bang! Squirtle followed up with another blade, slashing Squirtle up. Squirtle chased after the Squirtle, and its double blades glowed, as if to slash again. Puff! The Squirtle that was supposed to be chopped was moved away by Zhang Xingyun in an instant, and Squirtle chopped the air. Jenny. Behind Squirtle. Squirtle shot a freezing ray at Squirtle. Unfortunately, Squirtle flashed, and Squirtle hit the place where Squirtle had just stood. Then he quickly approached Squirtle, put his two blades together, and slashed at Squirtle. With the help of Zhang Xingyun, Squirtle dodged again. This won't do. If he does, he will be like that baby dragon, slowly worn down and then defeated. Now Squirtle is better than baby dragon in the last game, which is Zhang Xingyun's teleportation, but he can't teleport all the time. Zhang Xingyun can't stand it. Zhang Xingyun can only use the spirit possession technique, and the energy fluctuations on Squirtle's body have reached the ordinary early stage. Squirtle, go to your feet, use water fluctuations, and then use freezing rays to freeze it. Jenny. Squirtle immediately did as he was told and condensed water fluctuations. When Zhang Xingyun saw Squirtle's movements, he asked Scyther to be on guard. Since Zhang Xingyun and Squirtle communicated telepathically, Zhang Xingyun didn't know what Squirtle was going to do for a while, so he could only ask Scyther to be on guard. After the water wave, Squirtle used the freezing ray with itself as the center of the circle, freezing the ground, forming a circular ice zone with a radius of about 5 meters. After seeing Squirtle's performance, Zhang Xingyun also reacted. It turned out that it was not an attack. Spy, wash. Hassan. Squirtle's speed was very fast, approached Squirtle and chopped down Jenny. Squirtle also used the wave missile to force Squirtle back. Squirtle disappeared from the original place and appeared in another place, freezing the nearby ones in the same way. In this way, 5 such places were frozen, and Squirtle appeared in the middle of the frozen ground. No matter how fast Squirtle is, it has a foothold, and Zhang Xingyun intends to use the frozen ground to solve the speed problem of Squirtle. Zizzy. Squirtle froze a place, moved instantly, and in another place, the water wave plus freezing ray was spread again. Scyther tried to stop it, but Squirtle, relying on its own defensibility and Wava guide perception, forced Scyther to retreat many times. Scyther also tried to attack the ice surface, but after the attack, ice chips flew everywhere, and there were some small ice cubes and water on the ground. As soon as Scyther landed, its feet would be stained with water. If it landed hard, it would splash up and wet its body, which would affect its speed. Zhang Xingyun had no way to deal with this. The competition was on this field, not like in the wild, where there were no field restrictions. At this time, the ice surface melted under the sun. This was also the opportunity Zhang Xingyun wanted. Scyther moved instantly and appeared next to Scyther and swung a freezing punch. Scyther blocked it with a horizontal slash, turned around, and slashed with the other hand. Scyther disappeared again and appeared behind Scyther, condensing wave missiles with both hands and throwing them over. Bang! It still didn't touch Scyther. Scyther appeared 10 meters away, standing on the wet ground. It might have landed a little hard, and its wings were stained with water. This is the effect Zhang Xingyun wanted. With continuous high-intensity attacks, if Scyther fought with Squirtle, who had the spirit amplification at this time, would not be at a disadvantage. In addition, Zhang Xingyun's instant movement could form a spatial attack. In this way, Scyther could only distance itself from Squirtle and appear in another place. Like now, as soon as it landed, it was wet, and the body was wet. It was okay once or twice, but if it lasted for a long time, or if it lay down, it would inevitably affect the speed. Although Scyther has the attribute of flying, it cannot fly, and can only glide with the help of the foothold. The author found on beta that it cannot fly, and some that can fly only fly a short distance, which is equivalent to gliding. The ice surface is slippery and the water surface is wet, which is not a good place for Scyther. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.